Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BareRose Garage. It's another Saturday. Looks like we got Travis's Mopar. Good to see you, man. And Dean Stevens, our friendly Kiwi from down under. Well, not down under, but on the other side of the world for us. How's it going, Steve? Dean? So, what's everybody been working on? Sunday here. That's right. He's also our local time traveler. If you want to know what tomorrow's going to be like, you got to ask Dean. So, what's everybody been working on this past week? I guess you all seen it from mine. Yeah, I kind of let the cat out of the bag with mine. uh, I'm pretty sure she's going to be, to everybody that guessed it right, yep, she's a Y block. Hey, 162 Customizing, good to see you, man. Mofo Driver, awesome, man. Great to see you. I just got your video chalked up here, and I'm gonna watch it right after this. Looks like you got Hoosiers in there, I think. If I seen your thumbnail right, that's pretty cool, man. I was just about ready to watch it when Buck's Life kicked on, and well, I decided to pop in there and do a little moderating for him. But yeah, you could see on my last video, yep, I let the cat out of the bag with horrible audio because I was shooting it with my phone. My battery was dead in the camera, so I had to shoot it that way. My links are broken. Oh, let me see if I can fix that. Copy that. Close that window. Oh, the computer froze there a little too. Huh. Let's try that. AWW. And we'll pop over to this one. NSAWW. Try that one. Yeah, those Y blocks, they're a different engine. They're different all around. Uh, I love them because you can see the transition point. I kind of call them the missing link from the flathead to the overhead, and well, they've got some pretty serious flaws, but uh, they're they're correctable. And if you don't correct them, yeah, they live up to the reputation of being about a 40,000-mile engine. But I'll go into all that when I dive into it. And also, uh, for all you guys that are into coyote swaps, well, the engine that I got sitting in there, it's actually an original coyote. And I'll show you where the term coyote came from. It's a lot like dove heads. It's just a slang term for the Ford numbering that's on the original Coyote. Anyway, we'll go into all that later. Leighton Welding, good to see you, man. I see you're climbing up there on the subs. Boy, you're eating them up. Good job, man. Jim fixes things. Is that Y block or Y block? I don't know. I would say both. uh, but the reason for that actually, when I first looked at that, I said, "Oh my God, a Y block could fit in here," and it's because of that. They are really steep skirted block, and I figured, after looking at that power steering box that's in that Mopar, that would be perfect in there. The way they really climb up real narrow and then V out. And sure enough, it goes right around that steering box, everything. And that's the cool thing about the engine that's already in it. That engine that's in it is actually made for 12 pounds boost, 12, 15 pounds boost. Uh, it's actually an F code engine. It's made for the Paxton centrifugal charger. It came in on a 59 Mercury, F code Mercury. Back in the 56 all the way to 61, 60, 61, you could order an F code, and that's what that was. It was the Y block with the Paxton supercharger. And that's why I scooped that Y block that's sitting in there now up. When I seen those heads in that intake, oh yeah, I had to have that. We don't need no stinking steering. Who needs that? Drag strips are in a straight line, right? You don't need to turn. But anyway, that's what originally cued my brain to thinking that that would probably fit in there, is because of that deep Y block design, that deep skirted block, a lot like an LS. But Ford did not copy it from the LS. Actually, if you go back and look at a 305 GMC V6, exact same thing. And that was back in 40 something or another, or 50, 51, 52. The old GMC V6 block. I believe that's the first skirted block. But GMC dropped it, and then they merged, and Chevy, GMC kind of became one. Hey, Travis, how's it going, man?
I can't hear nothing.
Oh, your audio's dead? Can you hear that? I'll keep talking here. You
Okay,
having
something's going
internet
goofy
troubles
here.
tonight? We'll get you figured out. Blue collar performance. I've seen a few of those packs and setups. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, and the really cool thing is, if you get one of those early original ones, like the one I don't have, because it didn't have the Paxton on it. The guy I got it from, he took that off and sold it separate. But if you have one of those old cases, you can actually split them, put the new stuff in them, and put them right back together. They fit. So if you're going for a retro look, all the internals from the new Paxtons will fit right into them. Pretty cool. There we go, Travis. Can you hear now? Can you hear her
Hold on
now?
a second. I got both streams running. Hold on.
Don't cross them.
Yeah, don't cross the streams. Yeah, it's working now.
All right, cool. So, what you been up to? I see you got a new one. You just dropped it.
Yeah, just a little quick driveway burnout.
Boy, I could do a burnout with a lawnmower right now. My driveway is nothing but a sheet of ice.
Wow. I was gonna bleed the brakes today, and ended up the front passenger caliper was locked up. So I went and just bought 2 new calipers for it.
Oh, sweet.
So I put those on today, and then tried to bleed it. And I still need to do some more bleeding, but the brakes are holding good enough to do a burnout. So they're not horrible, but they ain't the best.
Yeah, that was back in '57 when Ford got banned from NASCAR, and it was because of that Paxton supercharger. And to this day, there's still no superchargers in NASCAR, and it was because of that. They got banned for life.
Wow.
Ralph Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt's dad, used to drive a hot pink 56 Ford 300 two-door that had that on it. They were too. Those things, they rev super slow. It was a total torque motor.
Geez, they'd have what, 5-inch pistons?
Oh Lord, they're huge. Yeah,
Get 305 cubic inches out of a 6-cylinder?
and it looks like a V8.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
The exhaust on it, yeah, it's not that big, but good Lord, you could almost put two hands around it, each exhaust.
It's a Ford motor you can put a beer can in. Which one? Exhaust ports. Which one is that?
I know on the intake side, that's a 460. Good Lord.
460, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put a beer can in it.
To clean out the heads, boy, it'd be easy. You know, you just clean it out in there and you stick your head in there and look for the
You
valve.
look around. Yeah, that's clean.
Yeah, they're about like that. They're monsters, but they're actually too big.
What's up, Tony?
Great to see you tonight, Tony. If all else fails, reboot.
Exactly.
Just shut it off, cuss, and turn it back on.
I think I'm on track to drive the truck to work Thursday. I'm getting really, really close.
What's the weather been like down there? You missed all that stuff that hit Tennessee, didn't you?
Well, it hit us, but it didn't really hit us hard. I mean, it was just a whole lot of rain. So we didn't get any of the serious weather. So, but we did get probably a good inch of rain in about 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it poured. But like yesterday, it was mid 50s and cloudy. Today, it was low 60s and sunny. Tomorrow's supposed to be 72 and sunny.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect weather for working on a car outdoors.
Oh man, I envy you.
You know, wife's talking about moving up there near you and stuff, and I'm like, well, wintertime you're just shut down.
Yeah, you gotta have something place to get inside to work. Otherwise, yeah, it's rough. Last year I did it out in the cold. Nah, not this year. but I had to. I had no way of getting that big motorhome in the shop, so it was
Mm-hmm.
either do it or.
Right. So the dart's coming to no name this year, right?
Yeah, all things are pointing towards it.
Okay.
It'll be a 1965 Dodge Fart.
Oh Lord. I haven't been keeping up good and busy, so you're putting a Ford motor in. A Y block is what I understand.
Yeah, for two reasons. Number one, back before anybody knew who BareRose Garage was, that was the first video I had that hit. So it's kind of paying homage to all of everybody that was with me when I was nobody. And number two, I got plenty of them, and they were all free. So I can blow one up, slap another one in. I got 5 transmissions for them.
Wow.
So, you know, it's a run what you got kind of thing.
Oh, I ain't gonna hate on you for it. Maybe a little bit, but still.
If it fights me too much, I'm going to stick the straight axle in it and just, it'll be whatever goes in it then. It might
Yeah.
even be small
Well,
block Chevy.
you know, like I've always said, people, it anything will fit into anything. Just depends on how much fab you want to do.
Yep. How much time and money you want to put into it.
Yep.
And the less money you put in it, the more time you put into it.
Right. Because I know somebody that has a smart car with a turbo boost motor in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We used to
Whole
run
thing's
with a guy that
insane.
put a helicopter engine in a smart car, a jet
Really?
engine. Yeah.
Oh,
It still
wow.
runs on the original motor. You can drive it around, and then he's got the hatch that's hooked onto actuators, you know, so it opens up, and then he fires that sucker up, and woo!
How do you even sit in that thing?
Barely. He's got barely enough room in the driver's side, and it sits down the passenger side and sticks out the
Oh,
back.
I'm sure.
He takes it around to different events like monster truck shows. He was
Yeah.
one of the sideshows that would show up there.
Well, you know, he could just make somebody put a diverter on it and dry the roads as he drives around.
Yeah, he drives it all around. It's
Oh no, I'm
registered, insured,
talking about
everything.
in wintertime he could do it public service. Just drive the roads.
I forget what helicopter it come off of, but it's an old, I think a Bell helicopter,
Okay, so
the little one. It's a little jet engine, but
right. It's a oh geez. Let me think about it. I think that's probably an LM 1500. I think that's what that is. And they'll run like 20,000 RPMs
oh Lord,
or
yeah.
better. So,
Remember that company that was making motorcycles like that?
oh, who
Putting jet
was that?
engines on motorcycles?
Yeah, it was a little bitty thing. It only had like I think it had like a 2-stage compressor and a 4-stage power turbine. It was a little bitty thing.
Jay Leno bought one.
Hmm.
And he took it to Montana when Montana didn't have speed limits. I guess he tried it out there and he said it was just scary fast.
I bet it was.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, as soon as I do the first video on it, 6 videos that are 15 years old will pop up. Oh man, somebody has done it. uh,
The Y2K bike. Okay.
is that what it was?
I guess so. That's what Leighton said. I can't remember.
I know they were goofy looking. Man. When somebody asked him how much RPM it would do, and he said, as much as you're daring to hold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something that small. I mean, you know, the bigger things get, the slower they go, or the slower you want them to go. Let's put it that way. There are big turbines. They run at 3,600 RPMs. At 38, they come apart. Literally, they start separating things.
Shattered.
Yeah.
All
Blades
it
come
takes
out the
is a
sides.
little vibration in there, and yeah, whoa.
One of the big catastrophes on one, it was a GE7EA turbine, which is a mid-sized turbine, I guess you could say. And they were working on it, and somebody was in there cleaning the intake on it. I left a roll of paper towels in it. The roll of paper towels fell down into the intake and created enough air disturbance. It wasn't the fact that the roll of paper towels went through the turbine. It got stuck in front of the turbine, which created a turbulence that started shaking the blades, and the tolerances are so close. There was clashing, broke a blade off, and the blades went through the machine.
And then
Completely.
it just shreds
Yeah,
it.
it just took out everything. Yeah, $1 took out $1 million machine, or actually a $10 million machine. Yeah, those turbines are they're ticky. What's up, Greg? Oh, that's right. I need to send Bruce a. Bruce said he was going to sign up here in a couple weeks when he gets his first paycheck again.
Oh, did he? Sweet.
Yep.
So the Warlock's going to be there?
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Well, like we was telling him, though, the truck is just kind of a bonus. Him being there, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Heck, we had a good
But yeah,
time, and we didn't have a car there.
I know. I still kick myself. I should have thrown red on Taylor and brought it up there just so people could see it.
Yeah, and you're not too far away.
Hour and a half. It's not far at all.
Have you raced at Jeffers before? Just
Mm-mm.
on the tracks around?
No. I've raced at Memphis Motorsports and Holly Springs, and then by Helia around here, and that's the only tracks I've gone to. Holly Springs is a decent track. It's all concrete with a hill at the end.
That helps you slow down a little, right?
Yeah, and then by Helia, I don't know. I think they just took a bunch of asphalt and threw it down, and then poured something over to make it stick all together. It's a sketchy track. It's fun, but
Wow.
it is sketchy. I can't believe people run like sub 5 seconds in them at that track because the shutdown is so short.
You got to be on your game to get her shut down, huh?
Yes.
I was at George Ray's drag strip today talking with Tyler. Cool.
Where's that one at? Wait, that over close to you?
George Ray's, that's a famous track. I remember that name.
I'm not sure where that one's at. It's got to be kind of over close to him, and he's 45 minutes from me, I guess. You know, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to run at No Name or not because I'm going to need a cage in my truck. They'll probably let me get through one run, and then they'll say, no, you've got to put a cage in it.
You're getting close to those numbers, huh?
Oh, I already know I'm in those numbers. That motor in a car that I'm only gaining about 200 pounds with the truck. The Aspen was quite heavy, and it ran 680s on motor in the Aspen. So I'm gonna be, worst. I figure I'll be a 7.0 run on motor.
And a cage in a truck is tough because you're tight in there anyway.
Right.
Trying to get head clearance, helmet clearance, it's not an easy thing to do.
But I'm thinking about if I do one, it'll be like a 4-point inside the truck, and then I'll have some push throughs to the bed, and have another roll bar on the outside, and then the runners down to the frame into the bed, instead of trying to come from the inside cage straight down to the frame, because then you lose your back window.
Yeah.
Every cage I've seen, you lose your back window, and I don't want to lose my back window.
You either got to do that or cut the holes in the cab and then bring them out through the cab.
Right. Come out and then turn them down.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking about, maybe doing a roll bar in the bed, so it kind of looks like a 4-wheel drive roll bar, where it doesn't look like there's a cage in the truck. Just looks like I put a 4-wheel drive roll bar in it. Yeah. Now I can put KC lights or something on it. Really mess with people. No, it doesn't have a cage. No.
I miss those KC highlighters. Remember those?
Oh man, those are. They should have called those daylighters.
They had daylighters too, but they were just KC. The highlighters, they look like a smiley face, the way they wrote the name on them.
I know which ones you're talking about.
The covers, you put on them.
Yeah, but I mean, those things were bright. Yeah. For incandescent lights, they were bright.
And boy, oh boy, you had to have a big alternator to run all of them.
Can you imagine if they use that same technology, however they got that light to reflect like that, with like LEDs? It would melt your face off.
And especially those, because they were a spot. There was a spotlight out there.
Oh, yeah.
Not like the LEDs that's a kind of a broad, bright light. They were a boom spotlight. And whatever they hit just melted away.
But the deer just stood there until you shot him. Oh, wait. That's it. Oops.
Wrong channel.
Wrong channel.
Welcome to Bill Jordan's Real Tree.
You can shoot a deer and cook him at the same time. Oh.
What's going on, Sam? Good to see you.
How's it going?
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to this week. Actually, what you're seeing me doing is just kind of spinning wheels and treading water while I'm waiting for the snow to melt so I can get in the back pasture and get the rest of my parts out. So I'm just doing stuff to keep working on the car while I'm waiting on the good stuff that's out there, buried in about 5 foot of snow.
All you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's all stuff I'm probably going to keep in there and keep going with, but yeah, that's what you're seeing.
I'm just trying to do a really good hard push and get the truck up and going, because next Thursday, this coming Thursday, I start working. I won't be done working until June.
Wow, a heavy push,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, yeah. We're doing an outage on all 3 units, and we'll be working for the next, what is it, 10 weeks, 9 weeks,
Wow.
7/12 with scattered overtime. So
Are they a little more lenient after that for like time off and stuff like that after the push?
no, I mean it's about the same as it is now. I mean they don't really, as long as the shifts are covered, that's all they really care about. But the way it works out though is after that big push, the way my schedule lays out is I work three extra days after the outage, then I have my 7 days off. So I have 7 days right after the outage. So that's nice.
I've heard that about chromoly. Something's going on with it. It's hard to get a hold of right now.
Really?
And boy, the prices are going, yeah. If you can get a hold of some and you need it, get a hold of it now.
If I did a cage, it'd be mild steel.
Yeah.
Hold on
How
a
much
second.
weight difference is it? Do you know offhand?
Not right offhand. Hold on 1 second.
I know chromoly is just, yeah, it's hard to work
Well,
with.
well, yeah, you have to TIG it. From what I understand, you have to TIG, and then yeah, it's stronger and lighter, but
It's harder to cut. It's
yeah,
it's just harder all the way around. But it is strong and it is lighter.
yeah.
But
Oh,
there's
it's
arguments both ways on whether it's actually stronger than a mild steel cage.
mm-hmm,
Biggest advantage is weight.
right. I mean, I'd have to do the math. I don't know if it's that big of a savings. If it's 100 pounds, well, that's a pretty good savings. But if it's 30, 40 pounds, yeah.
Hard to
Now,
justify the cost.
right now,
Because the cost
if you're
difference is huge.
well, if you're building something like a pro mod cage where there's a lot of metal in there, yeah, I could see where the weight could come into a factor. But if you're just doing like a 6 point cage, I don't I don't think it's gonna really amount to that much weight.
End result weight, yeah.
Right.
Unless you're chasing that, every single pound counts.
Right.
But you have to when you get to that level of,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
race.
Once you get to that pro mod, and you know, you go use the restroom before you go make your run, and that makes a difference. I think that's a little more than I want to deal with.
Yeah. And for me, with anything, that's why I got out of competition shooting. When it gets to that level, it just stopped being fun. It started to
Yeah.
be more like a job, something I had to do, and
Mm-hmm.
I started to suck at it because I just didn't care about it anymore, and so I got away from it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
most of the cages that everybody's gonna be using, I don't think the weight's gonna be make that much of a difference.
that, and all the stuff we do is they're asphalt warriors anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, 500 horsepower. That's pushing it for us. Heck, it's hard to get 300 to connect to the street.
I don't know. the Aspen hooked up pretty good, and it's touch over. You know, that motor's touch over 500.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to do some suspension work on the truck. I got some ideas, but until I get it out and get it running, I don't really know how it's going to react.
It's still all leaf, right?
Yeah. But it's different. Like I was talking to a guy today, he was talking about, well, Mopar's got better springs, they don't need the traction bars and stuff like that. I was like, the cars don't. The trucks
The
do.
trucks do. They're totally
They're dead
different.
center. Yeah, they're dead center because they're for hauling weight. So okay, Layton, I get it. But I'm still saying, if I save 45 pounds on a cage, that's not gonna give me a second in the quarter mile or a tenth. You got to have 100 pounds. 100 pounds equals a tenth.
And like I said, it's harder to work with. Got to TIG it all the way. Yeah.
I mean, it's all what you want
Mile
to do,
steel's a
but
lot easier. Oh, we know, Leighton.
yeah. But I'm all for people doing whatever they feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
But for myself, I don't think the extra money for chromoly would do me any good. I just don't think it would. So you don't want to just send the turbo to the moon and then hit it and hope for the best?
I remember talking to you in the pits on your last run there.
85 pounds of boost on a motor on the line.
And you gave her all heck, man. Good show, man. Real good show.
Yes. I'll be like these diesel guys. 100
Holy
PSI.
cow. You hear them things blow? Oh, man.
Oh, man. When they go, they go.
It's funny. It's loud and then dead quiet. As you hear the dyno just wind down.
The wild one I seen was a truck that caught on fire. It had some kind of fuel leak or something.
Oh, probably the propane.
Yeah, and it caught on fire and burned to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's insane. They run like 100 PSI on those turbos.
Oh, yeah.
That's nuts.
Have you seen the tractor pull ones? When they come apart, the engine comes completely out and goes forward and bounces around in front of them. Yeah.
Putting out some serious power there.
Especially those big multiple engine tractors. Oh. That's when things get crazy, when you start looking into tractor pull stuff. Whoa.
That's just above a daily driver, man. Come on, Dean. In the U.S., we have minivans that have more horsepower than that. Actually, I was watching something the other day about sleeper cars, and Mercedes has a 550 horse minivan.
Oh, really?
Yes. I can't remember what it is. No, it's rear wheel drive. It's a Mercedes.
Okay.
But it's a minivan.
There's a guy in, it's either Florida or I think it's Florida, California. Anyway, he was featured on that series, The Fastest Car,
Okay.
on, I think it was Netflix or whatever, where it's
Hmm.
all about sleepers. They take a sleeper car and they put it up against a supercar, and then at the end, everybody who wins does the final race. But there was that one guy on there that did minivans, but he puts like multiple turbos on them and he hides it all and he paints them all burgundy because he said that's the most uncommon color you would think for a fast car.
Hmm.
And they're all front wheel drive, multiple turbo, wild things.
Wow.
Not my kind of thing, but it was kind of cool. Yeah.
I mean, stuff like that. I can appreciate stuff like that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
own anything like that, but I can appreciate. Okay, yeah, the R63 Mercedes. Yeah.
Speaking of minivans, though, this our new contender, I think he passed over. What the heck is his name? Uh, Daddy's Money's friend. Uh,
Oh,
Nick the van guy, or
yeah. I can't think of what it. Yeah, Nick, because I'm friends with him on Facebook too.
he's going to be bringing a minivan. It's going to be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I actually seen one of those vans that were LS swapped. That was pretty neat. It would actually pick the front tires up.
Yeah, they scoot.
Yeah, because they're basically an S10 with a
S10.
big box on it. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're an S10 with a bit different body. We were down hanging out in the parking lot one time. A dude came in one of those, did a burnout in the middle of the parking lot, and the cop pulled in right behind him. I wish I had a video of that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's it. Nick the van man. Seems like
Yep.
a pretty all right kid.
Yeah, and I don't really consider like that Astro van. I don't really consider that a minivan. You can do it. Twin turbo LS. Go
Yep.
for it. Use the same parts as the S10. Then you
Some
need to
of
put a
them
water bed in
even
the
were
back.
standard. The bead curtain.
Put Yeah, put shag carpet all the way around it.
Oh,
Come on, we'd have to do the hardcore 70s van on it.
side pipes. Got to have side pipes.
Yep, gotta have side pipes. Gotta have the chain link steering wheel so you can drive with the handcuffs on.
And then put the
Yes.
portholes on the side and paint it bright yellow.
Yep.
The yellow
Make it their love
submarine.
machine.
The mirrored eyes.
Yep.
The old Nissan Altima. I've actually got one of those in my backyard. It was the wife's car, and
My Jesus.
when she bought her new one, we just stuck her in the back.
Oh, that's
What's
funny.
that?
I have to use that one. Mock Jesus. Did you read the last of it? I get passed by one going mock Jesus instead of like Mach 1 or Mach 2 or whatever. Yes, they will pass anywhere.
So an
They'll take
Altima
the
is
wall if they can.
if you're in Memphis, you just paint a number on the side of your Altima and you're free to go, huh?
Yep. That and the 350Zs. And speaking of that, I'll have a video series coming out in probably middle of June. And all I'm going to say here is that I'm going to a driving class.
Really?
Yeah. So it should be a really good little series.
I know if you're ever in Vegas, you can do a driving class there. I think it's part of the Richard Petty program.
Yeah. There's a few of them. But I'm going to one in Texas in June.
Sweet.
So this just some stuff to make me a better driver.
I look forward to that.
I'm looking way forward to it. As soon as I get a couple of these paychecks down from the Audis, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for it and get my slot picked out and everything. It'll be 3 days worth of fun.
It's funny how much you think you know, and then
Exactly.
you actually take a class and learn stuff, and yeah, you
Mhm.
find out that yeah. Well, like driving a stick. I could drive a stick since I was probably 8, 9 years old. You know, just hopping in the truck, putting it in granny and letting the clutch out to pull it in while dad
Mhm.
holds the gate open. That kind of
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Then I got to where I was driving the stick and he actually let me take the wheel. Well, basically all I learned was how to make the car go, make the truck
Mhm.
go, how to make it stop. And he kept telling me, you know, don't ride the clutch, get your foot off the clutch, don't do that, don't do that. You know, everything that, yeah, maintenance wise, friendly
Yeah.
driving it. First time I went out on the drag strip, well, it was a makeshift. It was just me and my buddies in the sand rails just having fun. And
Mhm.
I looked up, and sure enough, my dad and my godfather were up there in their sand rails just watching us. And then they come down, and then they boom, they showed us how it was really done.
Mhm.
And then he jumped in the seat with me, and he said, "Here, let me show you how to do that." Everything he told me in the beginning was wrong.
Mhm.
Leave your foot on the floor. Just keep that throttle pedal to the floor. Don't come off and just bump the clutch and slam second. He never told me that in the beginning.
Advanced driving
Uh,
techniques.
uh, yeah, when you start to learn, actually learning, you know, how to do that kind of stuff, wow, the
Mhm.
world opens up.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out how to do a video on that for a long time now. How to
Uh,
actually drive a stick shift.
yeah.
I wonder how many people would watch it because not too people, not too many people know what a stick shift even is
Oh, I
anymore.
know. I went so far as driving tractor trailer, and that's a different experience than driving a car.
Yeah,
Because
diesel,
in a car,
completely
because
different.
a car is forgiving. Big diesel truck to make that thing smooth, it's very unforgiving.
Yeah, when you shift without the clutch, I do that all the
Yeah.
time because yeah, it again maintenance stuff.
Yep. Well,
I
I
know
didn't.
every time you push that clutch in, it's just like brake shoes. Every time you push it in, a little bit wears off.
I see. I didn't learn how to slip shift until I was driving over the road, and the company I was working for, they were like, use the clutch. You have to use the clutch. And then when I got off the road, I went to work for a dump truck outfit. Well, they actually taught me how to slip shift. Where you only take. And heck, I do that in regular cars now. I'll just be driving and I'll be like, I don't feel like using a clutch, and just go through it.
Upshifting's easy. That's the easy part. Downshifting without it, yeah, you got to pay attention.
And just kick it and push it. Kick the throttle and just hold it up in the third gear or whatever, and it'll kick. It'll grab. And that's a
then you
good
get
way
to where you can do it from a standstill.
Yep.
That's got me home a couple of times.
I had one car that I think the clutch master cylinder went out, and all I could do was come up to the light and shut the car off, come up, in neutral, roll up there, shut off the car, put it in gear, wait for the light to turn green, and hit the key and then have to slip shift it going. I made it home that way. I got rid of that car.
Had a Yamaha, early 80s Yamaha road bike, and the clutch cable busted on him. And he didn't know what to do. I said, well, I'd get it home for you. We were roommates too, so it was parked in the garage next to my bike anyway all the time. And yeah, I hopped on it, and if you time it just right with the throttle, you can smack it into first and take off. But you gotta be careful. Too much, and boom, she comes up on you.
Right. A little bit too much, probably shear some teeth.
Take them right off. Yep. But you do a lot of the, okay, walk it into the stoplight. Come on, green, 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 green. Ah, dang it. Neutral. Is that I almost ran over a gas pump once. The throwout bearing slipped off the input. Yeah. Yeah. I had a Ford Ranger lose every gear but fourth an hour away from the house right after I put in a new starter, flywheel, and clutch. I drove it straight from work to the scrapyard. I was so mad.
Did you forget to tighten something?
I'll tell you what, Ranger and Exploder, oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
Those years that they used those French built transmissions in it, they were the automatics, but yeah, I got one now. I got two of them of those transmissions out there. Oh my good Lord. I think that's why they call them an exploders, because them transmissions they were just garbage.
Yeah. My adopted daughter, she has that 99 Ranger, and she's trying to decide if she wants to keep it or not, but it's got a rear main seal leak on it. I don't know if I want to pull the transmission.
Is it the 4.0?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Takes about 3 long extensions. Yeah. And a swivel socket. Ugh.
Let's see, I don't know if I
four-wheel
want to do
drive?
it. No, it's a 2-wheel drive.
Okay, that's a little easier.
I mean, it won't be that bad, but I got to do it in the driveway, not on a lift. I'm like, you sure you want to keep this? We could sell it and buy you something else. Kick the problem on down the road.
How bad is it leaking?
Not horrible. She goes through about a quart every 2 weeks, so it's not bad. But you can see where it's leaking. But I mean,
hey, Thumper.
She's had it for what, almost a year and a half now. Been a good little truck. I mean, she don't drive it a whole bunch, but been a good little truck. Starts up every time and goes, so can't complain for $3,000.
An old 52 John Deere Model A. Yep. Tripod or a four-wheeler? I taught my little nephew how to drive my little Massey long time before he was ever driving a car. I don't remember how old he was. He's pretty good size now, though.
I was probably 8 or 9 when my uncle had me driving his tractor. Good size John Deere. He didn't tell me that there were 2 brakes. We took a quick left turn.
I showed Brody at the end when he was all done what them 2 brakes did. Told him, okay, stand on this one and turn the wheel. Stood there on one tire. Woo, 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 woo.
They will too.
Wow.
That front tractor jumped real quick, and I got off the brake and straightened itself back out. Uncle almost flew off the side. He's like, "You got to push both those pedals, not just one of them, both of them." Oh, okay. Now you tell me.
Our sand rails were set up that way, though. We had steering brakes in them.
Oh,
So
okay.
when you hit a good hard dune, you reach over and grab the steering brake and you could walk the bowl in them and stuff like that. Boy, you could turn those things on a dime
Oh, I'm sure you
because of
could.
that. That was the other part of drag racing Dad taught me. When you stage in, you grab both those steering brakes and you yank them back and it put your hand right in the perfect spot for the gear shift. So when the tree would go down, you just let off them and you're right there for second gear as you come off the line. God, I'm getting the itch.
Oh, I got it bad. The truck is so close right now. My buddy was like, "Yeah, let's hurry up and get it done. We can take it out to Rivergate and go race it." And I was like, "No, I'm gonna drive around the neighborhood, make sure it's good, and then brakes on it. I want to stay, within about 5 miles of the house. Be a nice cheap tow job."
I don't think
make sure it's okay.
pinned the other link. Did that first link not work for you? Was it broken?
No, the one that was pinned and then the one you had in the first one you had in the chat didn't work. The second one, it took me a while to get in because my computer is trash.
Oh, okay.
And it didn't want to load up the websites. I can't wait until the 10th. My new computer gets here the 10th. I went and spent the money and got myself a good computer.
That is something you got to think about if you're wanting to do this YouTube stuff and start taking it a little more serious. You gotta up it up in the computer to be able to do this editing and stuff like that.
I am so tired of my computer because I was watching a movie last night and I didn't notice it right away, but my computer came unplugged. Well, when it does that, the battery goes dead almost instantly. It says low power and it shuts off.
Yeah, mine
that
too.
quick. And it's like you can't, even if you get it plugged back in, it's still shutting down.
Yeah.
It's just really annoying. And my wife doesn't have too much problem with the internet, but my internet is a lot slower than hers. We're on the same internet, so I know it's the computer. It's just not wanting to load up sites and whatnot.
Ooh, that's scary. Yeah, but I've been looking at i7 and i5 gaming computers. You can find the refurbished ones on eBay for pretty cheap now. I was looking at some of them in the i5. Where's he at? Thumper. Right here, this guy right here gave me all the pointers on a good starting point for graphics cards and all that
Hmm.
stuff. Thumper knows his stuff when it's coming to, that kind of stuff. And I looked it all up, and they run on an i5 processor, about $200 for a desktop. I'm looking for a desktop though.
Yeah. Well, I got a laptop, and I got the i7 and 3060 graphics card. And I think I got a little
And
more than what I needed, but
it sounds strange that we're looking for gaming computers, but it's because the graphics card is so good and they got so much RAM in them that it makes the video editing
mhm.
a breeze. Not looking at it for
Yeah, that's
gaming, it's for video.
well, I still play World of Warcraft too, so I mean it'll help me on that too. Because I can't
Oh
I
yeah.
can't play World of Warcraft on my computer now. It just won't work. So I paid for something I can't use.
Did
Which
you used to
sucks.
play the original one?
Yeah, years
Yeah,
ago.
all right, cool. The old dice and the open table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's funny is my daughter now is playing Dragon School.
really.
Yep. I think it's every Thursday or every Friday. I can't remember because she's got two different things she does. One's Thursday and one's Friday. And yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, really? Because I used to do that.
Same here. Before it was advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Yep, I
Well, do you
admit it.
remember? Do you remember how evil it was?
Oh yeah, you were going to hell.
Yep, you're gonna go to hell. Had all the demonic pictures on the books, and gosh, leave me alone. It's not like I have a Ouija board here. Okay? Going to outlaw some outlaw Ouija boards. I believe in them.
Oh, clear back in junior high, I started uh, painting miniatures and stuff.
Hmm.
And well, it sounds crazy. I live in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere, but I'm right next, I used to be right next to the submarine base. There's
Okay.
a Triton class submarine buried in the desert out there. And if you were in the Navy and you wanted to learn how to be on a nuclear sub, this is where you came. And all
Okay.
the Navy guys were into D&D, Space Marine, Warhammer, all of that stuff. So I'd buy the miniatures and I'd contract with them to paint them up however they wanted to paint them. And I got really good at it. I used to make a lot of money selling those little miniatures, and it's what got me into art real heavy. I was doing like back patch, the old Levi jacket, the back patch in them.
Hmm.
I used to
Yeah.
paint their D&D characters into that, and murals and all
Oh,
kinds of
okay.
stuff.
Cool.
So as soon as you said that, boy,
Right.
and yeah, I used to play with them and all that stuff. And they were rich, bored Navy guys, so they had lots of money to spend on all the fancy toys. So
Oh yeah. I remember all those toys that I wanted that were in the stores and stuff. Going, oh, those are cool. Oh, the bone dice. Do you remember the bone dice?
oh yeah.
And I asked my mom. I said, "Can I get?" And I think it was a eight-sided bone dice or die. I wanted one. I asked my mom for it, and she looked. She looked at it, and she was like, "Do you want to eat this week, or do you want to die?"
uh,
They were expensive.
boy, and you had some people that were fanatic about it. Don't touch my dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun times.
Kind of miss all that stuff, but I got into playing Magic there for a while.
My daughter's into that now. They go to conventions all over.
Well, you know,
Just,
it's D&D with cards is all it is.
yeah.
You know.
uh, but anyway, yeah, that's why we look for the gaming computer. Is
Yeah.
it's got all the requirements you need for video editing and doing your YouTube stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot better for it. And I kind of it took me a couple days, but I went ahead and spent the money that to buy a new one. And I could have bought myself something fun, but I bought it. It does have an 8-hour battery life though. So maybe if I go outside and I'm doing tuning, I won't have to plug in and everything like that. And just take the computer out there. Oh, Mr. One-Eyed Cat's here, I see.
Ari, I got a question for you. How long did it take you to get out of that Thunderbird? He sent me a picture of he's working on an early bird, 56 or
Oh wow, a
57
small one.
Thunderbird. Yeah, one of the
A
originals.
small one.
And
I
I
like
sent him a
those.
text and said, I'll bet you can't get in it because I've tried to get in them. I'm a little guy and yeah, they're tough to get into. He sent
Yeah.
me a picture. He's in it. I don't know how he got out of it.
Yeah, because they're about the same size as a Corvette at the same time, aren't they?
No,
Are
they're
they actually
smaller
smaller?
and the steering wheel's bigger.
Oh
Oh
Lord.
man. It
I've never
you
sat in one.
if you ever see a picture of Ari in there, yeah, you'll get a good idea what those cars are all about. He looks like a
My
monkey riding a football.
I was about to say it's probably like I got a friend of mine I worked with, and he drives a Chevy Spark, and he's probably 6'6", 350 if he's a pound. I mean, he built like a big old linebacker, you know, big old country boy, and he drives a Spark, a two-door Spark. Ethan gets out of that car, and the car goes, "Oh God, thank goodness."
I had a 70, what was that? 72 MGB. Just a
Okay, yeah,
little, roadster.
little bitty thing,
And
yeah.
good friend of mine, he's 6'6". Uh, he was painted with me, house painted with me, and oh, he's the only guy that didn't need a ladder. He could cut the trim in the top without a ladder. Anyway, he said, "Oh man, I'd never get in it." And I said, "I'll bet you can." And he got
They
in it.
actually
He
have
said,
some pretty good room to it.
it's got more leg room than his 77 Thunderbird. The big bird."
Yeah, yeah. Actually, those little things had a lot of room inside of them.
Yeah, they
They weren't
did.
very big cars, but they had a good bit of room in them. We rallied one in my cousin's pasture one time. It was a free car, and it was a MG, same about the same car. But yeah, we thrashed one his pasture one time.
I had one of them too. 69. Actually, I got it from cousin Mike. He had one that was in immaculate shape. Every time he'd pull up in my driveway with it, I said, "Hey, you left your Corvette in the dryer too long. Look what happened."
Hey, those Opals are neat cars.
They are. That was one cool car.
There's a guy in Memphis got one that is serious. Let's put it that way. It is serious.
There's an old junkyard here. It's way out in Springfield. The guy will let you out there, but he'll tell you straight up, do not look at my opals. He's got rows of them out there. But and he'll sell
Wow.
anything in the yard. But if he catches you over there with the opals, yeah, he'd probably shoot you.
You can look from a distance.
Yeah, I guess it is not working. I better go over there and fix that.
I saw a video the other day about the Avante. I didn't realize that they actually had one that was a supercharged V8.
Yeah, that's the one that took the speed record.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. The guy had found one and he bought it. He never said what he bought it for, but I was like, I didn't know they came supercharged. I always liked those. There was a guy when I was a kid had one. It was all black with wire wheels on it. Oh, it was so pretty.
God
And
damn.
he's got the
There
cat
we
with
go.
him.
Won't
I
leave,
just
me,
got rid of mine.
won't leave me alone. She's got to be touching me. It'd be all right if she just sat here and, next to me and, but she's got to have her nose in my arm, laying on my arm, up my nose. But that, the power of love.
Yep, of all the cars that have pop-up or hideaway headlights, an Opal rules the roost. Those will never go bad on you.
Always
Are they
got
just straight up?
a place in my heart for opals.
Are they
There's
just
a
straight flip ups or are they rollovers?
They're rollovers, and it's all done with a hard linkage in the console. You yank on
Oh,
this lever, and they go. It's all mechanical.
oh, okay.
Go away.
There's another car that had the rollovers too, and I can't remember
No,
what it was.
pain in my ass.
And they were
Still, the
actually
coolest
tied in
hideaways
with
have to be the
Buick.
Buick ones that open up in the camshell.
Yeah, the Rivies. That was Riviera, right?
Ye-
The old boat
Yeah, I
tail
believe so. They
Riviera.
had where it opened up like this. Yeah, those were cool.
Go away. She'll be back.
I had a '76 Thunderbird that, yeah, it'd sit out there in the yard, and then after about 2 hours, you could see it slowly start to wink. Those are all vacuum though, and yeah.
I remember a friend of mine had it was a 60, or was it a 70? 69 or 70. It was a Charger with the hideaway headlights, and when the headlights were on, you pulled up to a stoplight, the doors would start doing this, flutter shut, and then you hit the gas and they'd open it right up.
Uh-huh.
That's such a big cam in it. Oh, GM had the worst ones though. Every GM I ever seen with pop-up headlights, one is winking at you.
The Fords would take a long time to open up on the old FEs because they're pulling the vacuum, all of the vacuum, off that one cylinder.
Really?
Yeah.
It didn't just come off the intake?
The GMs and all the others, they pulled them off of the carb plate, so it was equalized vacuum.
Yeah, it was off the plenum.
But that Ford, it's off of number three cylinder. That's why it's usually that valve that's burnt. Because when the heater controls quit working, people still drive it, and they say, well, the defroster still works, I'm going to still drive it. Well, that's all vacuum operated. They're running with a vacuum leak, and it burns that valve.
It leans that cylinder out.
Mm-hmm. Those
things you didn't know.
2 FEs that I gave Landon, yep, both of them are burnt on that valve. Good Lord, did they ever. They're everywhere. It looks like somebody ate a whole bunch of Campbell soup and left the cans everywhere.
I don't think I've taken a good picture of the vacuum canister that's in the truck. I need to do that and post that. I think it's an old Folgers can the guy used.
That's what I was just thinking. You saying about vacuum cans, like you get a, the powdered mashed potatoes, just a gallon can. It's like it wouldn't take much.
I think that's what the guy used. I think it's just. I don't think it's like an actual vacuum can. I think he just
Made his own can.
made his own canister. Yeah, because without it, the scoop won't work. Which
I
that's
love
about the
that
last
air
thing.
grabber you got. That is so cool.
I got to get that hooked up. I don't. That's one of the things that I hadn't really worried about because it's just a couple line connections and I'm done. So that's one of those things that are on the after I get it running and driving. That'll be on there.
I don't know if it actually does anything, but man, it sure looks cool.
Well, whenever I bought the truck, I had the 440 in. The guy had actually made it to where it would actually take just the air from the air grabber. But when I put the small block in there, unless I wanted to completely redo that plenum and everything, so I just trimmed it out and cut it so the hood would shed over the thing. So it really doesn't do anything anymore. I guess it does pull some cool air in on top of the motor. So if you're getting hot, it might help a little bit.
But what it looks like,
it's just cool to have it.
No matter what.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get whenever I fire it up and that because I usually just leave the switch on, and I get out of it and then it'll slowly shut as the pressure bleeds off of it. I fire it up and it'll sit there for a second and pop right open. People look.
Vacuum.
I honestly say that's the only one around. I don't think anybody else has done that.
Oh my God, Doug, you had to bring it up, huh? Mid-'80s Jaguar.
No, Jaguar, no.
Ooh. Oh yeah, shaking. If it's not electrical, it's vacuum. Yep.
I'm glad I don't know all these.
Still the worst
in the ass
is the vacuum windshield wipers. I want to go back in time and slap the person that came up with the vacuum windshield wipers.
Ford had it figured out there, though. They run it off the fuel pump. The fuel pump is
you were telling me about
double
that.
stack, and the top part is like a constant one that helped. All the others pulled it off intake vacuum.
So when you went up a hill in the rain, you didn't have any windshield wipers.
Come up to a stoplight, and then you go to take off. Yeah, and then your windshield wipers go. Right when you kind of got to see.
I didn't know about it, and I had that '67 Rambler. I bought from my dad's mother-in-law, and I'm driving it. And
vacuum.
Yeah, and I was going up a hill, and the windshield wipers stopped, and it was raining its ass off. I'm like, what? I get up to the top of the hill and start working again. I was like, okay, I got to call Dad because this is weird. He's like, oh yeah, those are vacuum wipers. You don't want to really be going uphill in the rain.
Normal. Don't go uphill.
Yeah. But it was a 4-door, 6-cylinder Rambler, 3 on the tree. Had the paisley interior in it. And it was turd brown, but I love that car. I did. I hated to get rid of it, but I couldn't find a transmission for it. Transmission went out in it. And so I put it in the paper for sale, and the guy came over and he's like, yeah, I like this, I'll buy it. I was like, well, good luck. I've been looking for 2 months for a transmission for it. It's like, oh, I got 3 at the house. I was like, you want to sell a transmission? I'd like to keep the car.
Yeah, then Ford started running. off the power steering. Even Jeff's 60, what is Jeff's? Two Hacks Garage, 68, 69?
Yeah, 68. Yeah.
It was the windshield wipers were powered off the power steering.
Weird.
Like Ford didn't have enough problems with power steering as it was. Try running your windshield wipers with it too.
Yeah, why not? And yes, Doug, I think everybody wants a Jensen Interceptor. 3,000-pound car with a 440 in it. Why not?
That's what I got now.
Well, you know, in my mind, if a 440 will fit in one, a built 451 will fit in it.
So what you been up to? One-eye cat?
Not
Mr.
a
Don
lot.
English?
Got the cabin fever going on. You get a nice day or two, and then it's rainy, drizzly, sleet, freezing rain, wind blowing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm having my wintertime funk, so I'll be out of that in a day or two here.
You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I know. I got some valve grinding compound today, so I'll be able to lap these valves in.
You get into that winter funk, you might just decide to put a Ford in that Mopar of yours.
I want to see when I pull this motor out, which not this year. I'm going to run it the way it is for Sikeston this year. This motor will be for next year. But I'm still curious what it looks like under those motor mounts and this and that, because this is all backyard stuff. I know that A-frame or that K-member probably needs some trimming and some plate work under there, maybe. I don't know.
That's what I'm looking at now, is cutting the center out of it and dropping it down and then re-welding it back in and gussing it all back up.
No, it hasn't flipped. This motor hasn't flipped over in the engine bay yet, so he must have done something right.
Just get you some logging chain, you'll be all right.
Is that the 6-cylinder K-frame or is that the V8 K-frame?
That's all they had for 62 was the 6-cylinder K-frame.
That's right. It wasn't offered. They didn't offer a V8 in them years, huh?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All slants.
That's what the car was designed for, that engine.
Yeah. And boy, was it ever. Oh, I gotta laugh. Oh,
Yep. I've seen that too.
AMC, yep. Yeah. Carter carburetor with the Mopar stamp star on it. And then you look at the distributor and it says Motorcraft.
Yep. I've seen a Hornet for sale not too long ago, a 360 Hornet.
Oh, man, I haven't seen a Hornet in years.
I was kind of amazed it had a small block in it.
2-door?
Yeah.
My great-grandma had a 4-door little Hornet.
Oh, ugly cars.
Oh, yeah.
God, that thing are
ugly. With the seatbelt door handles. I always called them a seatbelt because the way the outer door handle it looks like those old-fashioned seatbelts.
Well.
Rambler, Scrambler.
Now an AMX, yeah, you betcha. I'd love to have one of them.
Remember, my math teacher had an AMX. It was back in 81, 82.
I'd actually like to find a Gremlin X with the 401 in it.
Yeah.
That had to be insane back in the day because those gremlins don't weigh nothing.
Yep. Looks like they're
They were
already
fast. There's a guy here in town that had one, Robbie Chavez. And man, that thing was quick.
They did a pacer too, didn't they, with a V8 in it?
I've heard rumors about that, but never seen one. You know, stock.
Yeah. But I know they did a Gremlin stock. They didn't make very many of them, but had that 401 AMC motor in it. Which I don't know how powerful that thing was.
His was also the Levi edition. It had, all the interior was done in Levi.
Oh, Lord. If that ain't 70s, nothing was.
And it was that weird blue color, you know, with the stripe down it. But the stripe was all cracked like they do, you know. But that car was quick. It had slot mags on it.
aluminum slots, my favorite. Dizzy's got a set of aluminum slots for me, and I hope they fit the car.
Oh, wow. With the small 5 pattern?
No, I got it's large pattern.
Oh, you.
Well, the factory slant, that's factory. That's the 5x4. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
5x4.
And then the 440, that's got the big pattern.
Oh.
The 5x4.5.
Yeah.
Standard pattern.
Yeah, he put, well, it's got a Cornet rear end, I think, and the front suspension's out of a 73 disc brakes.
Did he use the whole K-member or just the spindles and stuff?
Just the spindles and upper arms. But I got that back here in the box too. I got put new bushings, new everything under the front end. It's whipped. It's tired. Being a 62, you know, how good's that rubber under there now, you know?
Right.
Well, because I was it 2 summers ago, I drove to Watkins Glen for the cup race. Boy, is that a fan favorite. I was a king, man. Well, that's what the decals are. I just put them on the doors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because Petty drove a 62 Plymouth. So I mock it up like Petty and it's saying I can go anywhere up at Watkins Glen. You know, we went to the cup race. We took it up 2 years. And I got a trailer hitch. So my brother come down from New York. We did the weekend because he'd come to my house and we'd tow up a trailer full of wood and the fire pit, you know, just a small utility trailer. Once it was empty, I'd just bring it home pretty well empty, you know, other than tents and nothing, you know, empty coolers. But the weight was a little heavy on the tongue and it raised the front end and it was the front wheels were just squealing, man, because I hit a pothole coming out and I thought I buggered up the front end. But it was just too much tongue weight. It was squealing too, man. I wish I had video. That'd have been short. That'd been a movie. But we pulled over down at the gas station and redistributed the weight, and it drove fine after that. But just that front end's just so out of whack, you know, that it threw the geometry off that much. It's like, yeah, we need to work on this.
As long as you didn't need to make a turn.
I'm surprised them tires held out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the 304 was, huh?
Yeah, I thought they did a V8 pacer.
I know the Pacer was actually supposed to have been rotary, but they pulled out at the last minute.
There's a guy that's got a real funky one around. I think I posted pictures of it. It is pure straight out the 70s. Time machine.
Good old days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, AMC kind of went crazy in the 70s with, Levi wasn't the only one. You could get another one that I think it was the Matador or the Ambassador that was actually designed by Gucci, and it had all the Gucci interior in it. And it was,
Really?
I mean, it was way over the top 70s done, but
Yeah.
I imagine they're worth quite a bit of money now.
My mom had that, what was it, 70? That was a 73 Ambassador. The thing was about 3 city blocks long, about 2 wide. It was like a purple pink color. The interior was paisley.
I was just gonna say, oh Lord, AMC.
Well, and the thing is, my dad rebuilt the motor, right? Well, the actual color for the motor was gold with black valve covers. So imagine this purplish pink car that's 5 miles long. You open the hood, and there's a gold motor.
Painted by a blind kindergarten student.
Right. With brush strokes.
Bad thing is, my dad got that car back running, and he'd rebuilt the motor and transmission and everything in it, and it was a good car. About a month later is when that woman hit us in that Cadillac.
No.
Yeah. Who won?
Yeah. It was like a 78 Eldorado she hit us in. She was doing about 50, ran a stoplight.
T-bone.
Me and my mom both lived. She T-boned us, and we lived through it with minor injuries.
Yeah. There's always that minor injuries part.
But that thing was a tank.
That got me thinking years ago, a buddy of mine had an Olds Tornado.
Another tank.
The Matador. I almost bought one a little while back.
They're kind of cool looking cars.
I was afraid I couldn't get parts for it. It had no headlight bezel or buckets, and stuff that I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to find.
Well, it depends, because the Matadors have like 2 different ones. They got like the slope back one,
yeah,
and more like a conventional sedan.
My shop
if you close your eyes, squinted, and looked at it kind of sideways, it looked like a Chevelle, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
From the profile.
Remember, my shop teacher had a Matador, and that was the ugliest car in the parking lot. It was a shit brown, It's like, yeah. But I didn't know nothing back then either. The math teacher, he had a Gremlin. That thing was at 394 speed. He got in trouble once. We egged him on about leaving a burnout out behind the school. You got to entertain the children.
Oh, yeah. That's like the thing says. If a kid asks you to do a burnout, you do a burnout.
It was high school, but it's like, that won't do shit, He always chewed gum, you could tell by the way he was chewing his gum different that it was getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a good friend of mine going through high school, he had I think a 72 Javy.
Those are neat looking cars. Those are really neat looking cars. Whoever designed them had some style. I mean, just.
And they held their own on the racetrack too.
Yeah, I mean,
the Grand Am circuit, was it?
Yeah, that's why they had the 304 for Trans Am circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, isn't a great engine, but.
So I was watching on YouTube the other day some of those older nostalgia races that it's vintage nowadays, but back then they were hauling it, man. They're sideways through the corners. They're getting every bit of it. It's like, man, look at these guys go.
I watched the thing on that, and they actually were talking about, how they were power sliding the corners because the cars wouldn't turn. They had to make the cars turn. They just understeer so bad that they had to just push it through and get the rear end to slide out. Yep. So it would actually make the corner.
That was a big thing with the big block Corvettes. It put too much weight in the nose, and they handled so much different than the small block ones. That's why the big block Vet didn't stick around for very long. They went right back to the small block. Small block was actually faster in them.
I'm sure it was.
In the road courses and that, because they couldn't turn them.
Too much nose weight.
I wonder if any of them, because I know, what was it, 68 and 69, they had the LT or ZL, the ZL1, the aluminum 427. Did any of those make it into the vets?
I think it was designed for the vet, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you could, as far as I know, you could only get them in like the Capo Camaros and stuff like that. I don't know if they actually made them in, put them in the vet. Maybe somebody knows. But I mean, the all aluminum 427 I know is about the same weight as a 350 400 block, cast iron.
And it's all about placement. It's all about where that engine's placed.
That's true.
I mean, that Y block I stuck in there, it's actually heavier than that slant 6. But right now, the front suspension on that Dart is all the way to the top because the engine sets farther back now. It doesn't have that overhang that pushes that nose back down.
Right. Well, I'm kind of amazed that it's heavier than the slant 6 because slant 6 is a freaking boat anchor.
They're heavy, yeah.
Yes, they are a big hit for a 6-cylinder. They are a heavy motor.
But again, that blew me away. Just setting it back just a little bit past center.
Mm-hmm.
Every bit of that weight went right to the rear, and now the rear end sags just a little bit.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly what I want.
Well, I mean, depending on the balance, once you get driving it, you might want to scoot it up just a little bit. You might get that tire squealing around corners. All right, 62. We'll see you later, man.
It's great seeing you. Z01 block weighs 110 pounds. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably fully dressed, they probably weigh as much as a
small block.
A small block, yeah. That's a pretty light for a block. 110 pounds for a bare block. I think the head on a slant 6 weighs that much.
Right. I was going to say, that's what my crankshaft weighed in that 460.
Probably. What's up, Unfinished?
Hello, UP.
Good to see you, man.
It's good. I haven't been able to get on live in a long time.
Yeah, it's good having you in here again. I was afraid your computer might have fried out or you were frying out at work, one of the two.
My computer's on its last prosthetic leg and that thing's cracked.
Wow.
Let's take a peek here.
You used to run a 280Z, didn't you?
Ran a 240 SX.
A 240?
Yeah. 90, what was it? 92 coupe.
I thought for sure it was the old ones, the 280, 240, 280Z.
No, I actually like that 240Z, but the thing is you can't hardly find one that's not rusted out completely.
Oh yeah, they're
They
there's
they didn't
reason
do
for that.
any, no matter where they're at. I mean, even
Mm-hmm.
like Nevada and Arizona, you know, where cars don't rust, they rusted
They
away.
rust. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the metal they were using or what, but those 240s, I love them. I love the 240Zs, but you can't get one in. Now, if you do find one that's in good shape, they want,
They want a mint.
yeah, they want an arm and a leg for it. Just like I'd like to have an old Toyota Celica 78. I've had 3 of them in my life, and I've loved every single one of them. Little hatchback. I mean, they're not super fast, but they are a fun little car. And it's the same way. You either find them, they're completely just, they've been rotting away in somebody's backyard for the last 20 years, or they want $23,000 for them. There's no middle ground.
23 grand for one of them. Good Lord.
I seen one. It looked like it come off the showroom floor, though. It really did.
Well,
Growing up, that was a $200 car running driving.
That's how
And
I had
that's why we bought many of them.
The second one I had was actually they'd taken a 88 V6 and the transmission out of a pickup and welded it into it, which made it an insanely fun car. It was fuel injected. It was insanely fun. But I paid $500 for it, and it was modded. You know, I
That's
should have
like
kept
the
that one.
old
Cool.
Datsun V210 bombers. Good Lord, we
yeah.
picked them up for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at them now, yeah, like you said, if you can find one now,
Right.
wow, they want a lot for them little things.
What's even worse with the Toyota Celicas are the like early 70s ones, the first generation Celicas. You find one in mint condition, you're talking 35, 40 grand for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nuts.
not here.
But when I was growing up, those were the cars that, you know, you just pick up on a whim. Hell, good Lord. We would just beat the ever-living crap out of them. And when it died, you just went out and got another one.
Got another
Well,
one.
that's what it was when I was a kid. I mean, I'd buy one of these cars, and that's why I had a lot of like foreign cars when I was in, because I would buy a $300 car, drive it for a month, maybe 2. Something would happen to it, no matter how minor or how major. But if it quit running, I didn't fix it. I just left it on the side of the highway, walked up to the store, opened the newspaper up, found another one, picked up another car, and went driving again.
Bought one and drove it back home.
Yep.
Pulled the plates off. So all you got to do is go in and change the plates, and there you go.
It got to the point where I would carry my title with me in the car, and when it would break down the freeway, I'd sign the title and leave it on the driver's seat with the key. So when the tow truck driver came to pick it up, they'd have the keys and the title, and they wouldn't even bother me no more with it.
So they don't search for you. You don't get charged for abandonment, and there you go.
Yeah. Right. You're basically just giving them the car. They can sell it or do whatever they want with it at that point.
When my dad first got started, when he first opened his shop, he was tied into a tow truck company that also sold cars. He had a dealer's license too. And all of those abandoned cars like that, he'd bring them to my dad. My dad would get them running. And my dad was partnered up with my sister's godfather. He did all the paint and body work. So they would fix them up so he could flip them. That's how Dad got started. And then car lots started to pick up on that. And yeah, that's how Dad expanded his business.
Yeah, because what is it? Is it 30 days or 60 days you have to wait?
Yeah, they got
and it becomes yours.
unless you press it, you can push for it and all that. Yeah, but then you got to go to court, and
Yeah.
then it's not worth it.
But there's a certain time frame that if somebody doesn't come pick it up from the yard, they can file their paperwork, get a title for it, and then sell it.
I think it's 90 days here in Idaho. But Brad always keeps them about, oh, good Lord, he keeps them for about a year before he pulls them into the boneyard. And then you, even to this day, you can go buy them from him. He can get a title for you if you want, because he can go through, the towing and get titles for them.
That's the thing. You used to be able to buy cars out of the junkyard. Now, once they go in the junkyard, at least down here, they're just in the junkyard.
Yeah. That's the way it is here now, too.
That's what sucks about up here. It's like anytime somebody scraps a set of rims, they're not allowed to resell them other than, as scrap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember my cousin Dave, he wrecked his Chevelle, tore the whole front end off of it, and went to the junkyard, picked up another Chevelle, and brought it home, and went to the junkyard, used his parts and swapped everything around, and had one good car and drove off with it.
I did a lien sale on a 70 SS 396 Chevelle. I didn't have any issues, secured location, I cop towed it, and the tow yard finished the lien. Yeah. There's ways you can get titles by going through that way. It's drug out, and it's a lot of red tape, but yeah, any state you can pretty much do that with.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll get a salvage title after the end, but if you don't care about it, as long as you can get plates on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it don't matter.
As long as you don't care, taking it to Barrett Jackson and getting $4.5 million for that 1982 Subaru.
D used to do that. People would bring their car in. He had a mechanic shop, and they'd, want something fixed. Well, he'd fix them, and then well, I can't pay that. Well, he'd wait a certain amount of time, and then he'd go ahead and file his lien paperwork.
Get his money back. That's right.
We've had to do that on a few of them. Not very often, but I hate doing that. You feel bad for some people too, because they need it, but you also see that they're not. If you'd rather buy a case of beer than pay for your car to get tuned up so you can go to work,
Yeah.
You got to pay the guy.
Well, he had one that was really messed up because he had one that they wouldn't, they didn't pay. It was a little Honda Civic. Well, he goes to do his title stuff for it, right? After, I think it was 6 months or so. But he found out that there was a title loan on the car.
Oh, then it's
so he was having to fight the title company, title loan company, about whose car it was.
Yep. Whenever it involves those legalized mafia crooks, the car's done. It's just easier just to cut that cancer right out and bury it in the backyard.
I mean, it's the most legal way to be a loan shark.
Ugh.
Pretty much.
I know I had to do one once on my little Toyota because it needed a clutch bad, and I didn't have the money for it. And it was like 4 days before payday. So I was like, all right, I need to get this money and I'll have it Friday. It cost me almost $300 for a loan for 4 days. They're ridiculous.
Which one is sitting in there? The original Coyote. It's a 312 Y block. F code Y block. That's what is sitting in it right now. That's what I'm using for the mock-up though. That motor's pretty well had. I gotta rebuild it, but I got another one just like it. It's not the F code, but I got
like
another
a
one.
boat anchor. It's like, man, that'd take a lot of cleaning and make up pretty.
It's funny too. That's the only one that I've got that I paid money for. All the other ones I got, they're free. But I bought that for the heads and the intake.
Well, at least you got that out of it.
Well, see, this year you can put the Y block in. Next year you can put the Cobra Jet in it.
Woo, and we got leads on it. We're just waiting on that. But me and Landon, sounds like we might be going to the middle of nowhere, Idaho. As if anybody could find Idaho on a map anyway. People in Idaho can't even find this place on a map. But supposedly the guy's got 3 of them in a garage. And we got to go get it.
Wow.
We're just waiting on the okay to go in. Oh, yeah. Just 98% interest. Compounded daily. Yeah.
It's that income tax time of year. It's like, yeah, we can get you an advance on your return. Just, people can't wait for 6 weeks to show up in the mail. They got to get an advance and get charged outrageous money for it.
I'd rather just wait.
Y blocks are weird. They took those intake ports and instead of going this way, they turned them upside down like this.
They're stacked?
Yeah. On one of my real early videos, I bore scope it for you so you can see how the air flows down and around and in. It drops right down into the bowl. But
okay.
The intake, the head is actually part of the intake. I think that's why they split it. When they upgraded it to the FE, they split the head there. And then they turned them normal.
I'll have to go back and look. I can't picture it in my head. I'll have to go back and look at your old video.
They're a crazy design.
And BareRose, what batteries does that clock take? I'm going to send you a set of batteries.
I bet you it's a double A.
Yeah, I
bet you that's a double A battery.
I was going to paint it orange too at one time.
Every time I come in, I look at it to see if it's moved yet. It's still at 11:44 and 40 seconds.
It's right twice a day.
That's right. It reminded you, because is that a dollar store clock?
I think it's actually a Walmarter.
Well, because we get one every summer and we'll hang it out on the back of the house so you can see what time it is from the yard.
Actually, I got one in the shop that's just like that, but it's got the humidity one in it. And I use it for painting. So I make sure the humidity is low enough and it's got humidity and temperature in it. It doesn't have a battery in it too, because I don't care what time it is.
Well, if it did, it'd probably been corroded by now anyway. But the battery, we had this clock hanging outside, and the battery took a shit in it. And Wendy pulled it down to change the battery, and this spider about this big around.
Boy, I bet you she squealed.
You go for distance on that?
It's like, oh yeah, them spiders will live everywhere.
Yeah, dude. I had one living in my driver's side caliper. I pulled it apart, and there was one up inside the caliper.
Yeah, I've had that. I get them once in a while, it's like you see cobwebs inside the car. It's like, I guess I should be driving it more often, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, that 460, when I pulled it out of that motorhome, the box elder bugs had climbed up through the exhaust and were down inside number 5. I was
Wow.
rolling that engine over, you know, and all of a sudden, whoa, man, something stinks. This Ford stinks. Roll it over.
I can believe that.
Oh, good God.
Saying if there's a place, shit will get in it.
And there was thousands of them in there. Oh, when
Can
I
you
pulled the
imagine if
head
you would have
off,
fired that thing up?
oh man, would have been an unhappy day for them. Oh.
Oh, it would have been a heck of a smoke show.
But I was underneath that dang thing, and the exhaust was pointing right at my face as I'm rolling it over to get the torque converter undone. And also,
Oof.
oh, good God Almighty! Dang, them things stink when you squish them.
Oh God. I was at work one time and I felt something, under my hard hat here, and I went like this, and I could just feel it, the whatever that stink stuff is running down my cheek.
Oh.
Luckily at work we had a shower, and after about 15 minutes in the shower, rubbing and scrubbing, I finally got that smell off me.
Out here we get the big stink bugs too. I don't know what they actually are called. We just call them stink bugs. Great big black beetles.
We get the little brown ones. They're probably that big. But yeah, it's a horrible smell. I can't even describe it.
They're called stink bugs for a reason.
Yeah.
Smells like a sumo wrestler taking a dump on a burning tire.
Yeah, that's close.
Trying to picture that in my mind.
Ooh, I try to avoid it.
It'd be easier trying to picture Santa Claus in a G-string. Okay.
Oh, the weirdest thing we'll get though is Mormon crickets. Oh man, them are nasty, ugly things. And out towards
Are they
St.
right up on a
Anthony,
bicycle and knock on your door?
sand dunes are. They get about that long, and they got the big horn on the back of them. They don't fly. They're just a big ground crawling, ugly looking cricket. But they'll swarm. Up in St. Anthony, that's where the sand dunes are. And you look across the I-15 as you're going north, you'll see the sand dunes out there. They're just bright white all the way across the mountains there.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, one dune will just turn black, and it's just a total wave of billions of them things swarming into the hayfields. And then you can watch the hayfield just disappear.
Wow. Do you call them a Mormon bug?
Yeah, they're called Mormon crickets. Look
I
them
figured
up.
that.
They're
Well, when you said that, I was just wondering if they were riding bicycles and knocking on your door.
Oh yeah. 550 million of them come bounding on your door.
I've heard about those
they cause
love
car
bugs
accidents. Because there's so
Well, have
many
you
of them
heard-
going across the road. You hit them and it's slick as snot, literally, and cars will slide out and go off the road. Ugh.
That sounds like those love bugs down in Florida.
I never
You heard of those?
them.
They with something else, but they're part of like a ladybug. They kind of look like a ladybug, but they swarm up real big, and all they do is just mate. That's all they do, evidently, and they'll be like big balls of them, and it's actually taking people off motorcycles that hit them because there's just
Really
so many of them. Yeah.
Swarm. So we live along the river here, and every once in a while, saying you'll be cruising, or say if you're doing a road trip, It's like you see a gas station at night and it's just covered, whatever's the current hatch going on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first year I got my motorcycle, my 72 Triumph Bonneville. Oh man, I put my leathers on. I had my little John Lennon glasses on, my bandana. I was all ready to go, and I took off. And I always wanted to take Rose Road. Rose Road follows the Snake River. It's a winding road all the way. Yeah, nothing but farm fields out there. I got I'd say about a quarter mile. I had to stop and scrape the bugs off my glasses so I could see. I'm in my teeth and yeah. It's the only time I took Rose Road.
Well, when I lived in Wisconsin, we get out of Milwaukee, and it's farmland once you get out of Milwaukee. And back then it was like you're in the city and then you're in the country. It was almost like a line. We'd pull over there and we take our helmets off and ride out in the country. I did that until I hit, I think it was one of those big, like black and yellow bumblebees, big son of bitches. Left a bruise on the middle of my forehead. That took me off the bike at about 60 miles an hour. I wear my helmet from now on.
Going to Jackson on that bike, I was doing just cruising along about 60 mile an hour. Went across the river bridge on the South Fork as you're going into the park there.
Mm-hmm.
And grasshopper, those big flying grasshoppers. A buddy of mine was in front of me. He's on his Honda Magna, and I seen him go whoop like this, and it was too late. That grasshopper come up, hit me in the shoulder. I'm on the river bridge, and it's kind of a narrow bridge. That sucker knocked my arm off, and I almost went over into the river. Like, whoa!
I getting shot. I've had them hit me in the chest and stuff, but that was the worst one when I got hit in the head with that bumblebee.
His leg come up and stuck into my lip when it hit and stabbed me in the lip. I had to pull his leg out of my lip. Oh man. Yeah, motorcycles are fun.
Yeah, motorcycles are great.
The worst though was I was headed to the coffee shop. We used to always hang out at this local diner. We'd just go in there and drink coffee and decide where we're going to go, and then we'd disperse from there. And we hung out there so much that they called us the Brady Bunch because the diner was Old Brady's restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, driving there, I went through a swarm of yellow jackets.
Ooh.
And I felt one hit me right there, but nothing happened. Thank God. Okay, I get up there and I park the bike in front of the restaurant, and I go to get off, and I felt something kind of tickle, kind of right in my belt. Didn't think much of it. I thought I'd pinched myself as I was getting off. I go walking into the restaurant, and all of a sudden, right next to the Franken beans, it lit up. Oh my God, that sucker hit, rolled down my shirt, went underneath my belt, and was in my pants going for the biscuits. The middle of the restaurant, I jerked my leathers off and I ripped my pants down to my ankles and grabbed that sucker, and I'm swearing at it. The whole restaurant's looking at me, and I'm yelling at this son of a bitch in yellow jacket, and he's stinging me. I throwed him on the table and smashed him with a fork. Standing there in my underwear. Oh man. The waitress come over.
I'm crying.
Brings me some ice water. I wrapped it up in a paper towel and a napkin, and stuck it there and did my pants back up.
Clean up your mess.
Man, that sucker stung me probably 500 times, and he was headed for the biscuits.
I'm dying over here. I'm crying. God.
I think it knocked him out when he hit, and when he came to,
when he woke up, he was pissed.
He wasn't happy.
Headed south.
Yeah, motorcycles are fun. See what all you guys got to look forward to on them two wheels. You get to share stories like that live on YouTube.
My worst when I dropped that Ninja at 75 and slid down the highway.
Ooh.
I still have that jacket. I didn't get hurt.
Thing. I always wore my leathers on it.
Yeah. Well, you know, out there, down here, they don't have them, but up there they have the reflector. You know, instead of lines on the road, it's the reflectors. You know, the reflector bumps. So I went to cut lanes, and the front tire caught that first ball.
Oh, yep.
Just knocked it out from underneath me. And it wasn't raining, but it had rained that day. So at least the road was wet. Well, I think if it wouldn't have, I think it would have started tumbling. But I was able to just slide on my back, just right down the interstate.
Good thing you had a jacket on.
Yeah. Yeah, it scares me. I see people around here riding in shorts and flip-flops and a T-shirt.
Ooh.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that when you hit the ground.
No. There's too many idiots out there to even properly attired.
Yeah.
So I was never around motorcycles growing up. You know, we did mini bikes, but nothing crazy, you know, ride it up and down the railroad bed. But I don't know. Probably 15 years ago, my sister was always I won't say a biker chick, but she was getting her own bike. Little Harley with a peanut tank, and she wanted to take the safety course up here at Pendant, and she didn't want to take it alone. So she ended up, she talked me into going with her to these motorcycle classes. I ended up getting my license, and I'd never been on the street on a bike. What I do, I bought a little Kawasaki EN 450, had it for about 2 years, you know, mostly just to work and back, but, you know, ride through the countryside once in a while, but it takes too long getting dressed and getting, you know, because I didn't trust myself to not wear a decent jacket and the helmet and all that good shit.
Right.
There's too many idiots out there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad.
I don't even look at them anymore.
Remember,
Cell phones put away the bike for me forever. I'll never own another one again.
Well, you know, the good thing is about us that have rode, when you are driving,
we look.
At least I do it. I can see the bikes.
Yeah.
You know, and now that my daughter's learned how to drive, I point them out to her. I'm like, pay attention to these guys. Because if you hit a car, well, you're going to hit a car, and most of the time, nobody's really going to get hurt if you're driving on surface streets, you know. But if you hit a motorcycle 25 miles an hour, you're going to fuck somebody up.
You could kill them. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's going to be hurt, irregardless. But yeah, you got to pay attention to them, and they're not as big.
In all my years of riding it too, the ones that you would think are going to kill you, like lifted trucks and stuff like that, things with definite blind spots, no problem whatsoever with them. I think it's because exactly what you're saying. They know they've got blind spots, so they're more aware.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, I don't know what it is about Audi Motor Company, but every Audi was trying to kill me. There was one riding around in Idle Falls that had boot heels all the way down the fender. Yep. That sucker pushed me right off the road, and as I was kicking the fender, she was going and steering into me.
Panic.
I mean, I see too many people talking on the phone and spacing off and eating, and no, I ain't riding anymore.
Yep.
I'd like to get one because I live pretty close to work, and you know, it's not very heavy traffic, but I don't know if I want to ride to work. I only got 6 miles, and it'd be taking my life in my own hands just in that 6 miles. What's up, Terry?
For me, there's anytime I get on a bike, there's too much anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't really trust myself on a motorcycle. I like a seatbelt.
4 wheels on the ground. That's for me now.
That's right. Keep it
See-
between it.
See, my thing, if I got a motorcycle, I'd probably be really good for about 2 days, and then it would be. Let's see how fast this thing will go.
Most embarrassing thing I ever did with it though is we have in Idle Falls. There's a road called Memorial Lane. It follows the river all the way around Idle Falls, and you can see the falls and all that. I'm just putting along in mine. It sounded like a Sportster. It had a big cam in it, big pipes, and I got my feet up on the highway bars. It had 6-over forks on it, so it was a chopper with apes on it. And I'm just in my own little world, just letting it idle about 25 mile an hour.
Just
And it comes up to the stoplight. And I'm sitting there at the stoplight, and I look over, and the cop right next to me. And all of a sudden, the horizon started to do this. I was like, what the heck? What the? Oh, you dumb son of a bitch. You forgot to put your feet down. Just totally in my own world. Oh, hop, hop, hop. Oh.
You need one of those gold wings with the training wheels drop down.
That's what all the other guys told me.
There's a guy that rides around here. He's got a gold wing, and I was looking at the bike. It was a cool looking bike, fully dressed, and he comes riding up to the stoplight, and he doesn't put his feet down, and he's still. I was like, man, he's got some balance. I got to looking, and these 2 training wheels had come out from like the saddlebags.
Yeah, Harley does it too on their big electric glides and Road Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the wheels kick up when you took off. I was like, that's lazy.
See, Ari made it back. Why don't you come in, buddy?
Hey, Ori. Yeah, I told you that thing was full of water. I pulled that oil pan off, and it was still almost the shape of the oil. The oil pan. Big old block of ice.
Nice.
I should have taken a hammer or something on the video and tapped it to prove that it was ice, because it looks like oil.
Well-placed wrapping it would have.
Well, when I set it down on the dolly to push it over to the door so I can pick that motor up and get rid of it, it shattered, and pickup tube's toast. But the pan looks good. Of course, you never want to use a used pickup tube like that. Ugh.
No.
Oh, yeah, the good old days of riding on the 2-wheeler. Yeah. They were sure fun, but I'd never do it again.
I think the worst time was whenever we rode down to. I was living in Washington. We rode down to Astoria, see some friends of ours, and it was Washington, so it was a nice 70-degree day. Sun was out. We come riding back, and it started raining, like it does in Washington all the time. I don't think if I would have jumped in the ocean, I would have been any wetter. I think it would have been drier. Oh, that was a horrible trip coming back.
Wow, you got a sidecar? Those are
that would
freaky.
be cool.
You got to know how to ride them. They're different.
Yeah, they're a little different. Not that I would
bet
know,
they are.
but I've seen them on TV.
You turn one way, and if that sidecar comes up, oh yeah, she's taking you with.
2 wheels.
You remember
my
those
dad had
sidecar races that they used to do? And you
Oh,
see
they
the
lay
guy,
right.
yeah, the guy on the
Passengers out there, man. He's sticking himself out there about 6 feet.
yeah, he's like vertical, and he's holding and the bike kind of lifts up like this, and they're go around the corner. No
Got his
freaking
belt buckle
way.
on the other side of the fender.
My dad, he has a picture. He had a 43 Indian with the sidecar. He didn't have the sidecar, but it had the attachments to it. He sold it for $200 back in '68.
Really?
Yep.
Who
Who knows what that thing's worth?
Good friend of ours. In fact, she just bought a Pocatello cycle. What did they name it? M&D cycle. If you're traveling to Sturgis through I-15 and you come through Pocatello and you need any work done on your bike, they do really good work. Anyway, she just bought a 49 knuckle Harley.
Oh, wow.
And she's getting it all, well, it runs, but they're totally restoring it. Beautiful, beautiful bike. Made me think of that.
Yeah, I remember. I wish I would have had a camera, a phone camera like we have now. When I was living in Wisconsin, because I was there for the 100th anniversary of Harley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there for that celebration. And I mean, I saw some really kick-ass bikes. They're all down next to the lake. They out there at the park. I can't think of the name of it, but I mean, there was thousands of bikes.
All right, check that out. Did you get it on video?
Showed the aftermath though.
Whew.
Took one for the team.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared when I go completely bald there. I'm going to have one heck of a funny looking shaped head because I've dropped quite a few transmissions on it and everything else. It don't quite. It's hard to find a hat that fits right. Oh, another fun thing on the bike too is late October here in Idaho. When you go across the river bridges, across the Snake here, the temperature dropped like 20 degrees as you're going across the bridge.
Oh, Lord.
I remember ice would build up on the clutch and I couldn't pull the clutch.
Oh.
You'd have to and then break the ice off of it. Yeah. Oh, man. Bringing back all kinds of memories.
Yeah, back when I had my bike, we had the river bridge over here. It was still an open grate bridge.
Ooh, those are always fun. Yeah.
You go across and you can feel it following the grate. You get this. Just hold your breath and wait till you get to the other side. You hope it don't come out from under you.
And you can look down and see the river down below you.
Like, oh, look at the size of that carp.
Yep. That's the way the Bridge of the Gods was.
There's one that goes over the Snake River Canyon that's like that. We call it the Singing Bridge because as you go over it, it sings to you because the grate. I hate going over that thing because, yeah, you look down and it's, whoa. That's where Evel Knievel almost went, yeah.
Oh, is that where he jumped? Yeah, it was in Idaho, wasn't it?
Close to there. Mm-hmm.
His shoe come out early for that, didn't it?
Yeah.
What happened? Shoot come out early?
They say it was mechanical. I think he got to the ramp and said, screw this.
This might be too much.
If you see it, yeah, you can still see his ramp. It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
If you go to Twin Falls, the mall, is built right on the canyon edge, and his ramp is just past that.
Oh, okay.
People nowadays wouldn't even know who Evel Knievel is.
Mhm.
Big Ed Beckley bought the rights for that jump, though. Supposedly, Big Ed is supposed to be doing that jump.
Oh,
He's actually going to try and attempt it.
I'm gonna go see if he's gonna.
You know, I'm adventurous, but I just ain't into dying.
that's pushing the envelope there.
Yeah.
Be more than happy to watch.
Oh yeah. But, I mean, if you're gonna do a jump like that, you might as well call heaven and make reservations.
Well, better read the fine print in your life insurance policy.
Exactly.
Well, you know the golden rule, right? As long as you're doing over 120 when you meet St. Peter, you'll be going so fast by him that he can't check your ID. So you're good.
Okay.
Sounds fair enough.
All right, Ari. When's the video coming out? If there's no video, it didn't happen.
Under the cowl of a Mustang. Oh yeah, I feel for you, man. The only thing worse being under the cowl of a Mustang is trying to put header bolts or spark plugs in it, and it's got a 351 Cleveland in it.
That's what I found out years ago that on the big Mustangs, like the late '60s ones, they'd actually drill holes in the wheel well so you get the spark plugs
And
out.
the inner fender. Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do to my Valiant. Yeah. Let's go take
just big enough to get a socket through there.
Let's go take 2 people. Yeah, and about this much extension.
I'll just get you another grommet kit for an A body. And those grommets, they're perfect for that.
There you go.
For the the floor plugs in them.
I know yeah, that would be perfect. Well, you know,
Or find a set in a
when I was living in
junkyard.
Wisconsin,
Rub a little brake fluid on them, let them set for a little bit, and wipe them off, and then they're pliable again, and just pop them right in.
Yep. Yeah,
Anyway,
I know.
sorry.
I told you all this '73 Mustang had the Cleveland in it. That we floorboard up with, but we took that and put that 350 Cleveland in a Galaxy. That was the easiest car to work on because that engine bay in those that 68 Galaxies,
Yeah.
you know, are huge.
No shock towers.
So you'd actually when we were putting,
no nothing.
yeah. When we work on the engine and putting it in there, we were actually sitting in the engine bay like working on a truck. It was nice. So have you never done that, Terry? Just called heaven right before you made a pass? So I might be there. Reserve me a place.
Just give me a heads up. There's 6%.
Hey, 6%. Good to see you, man.
What's going on?
You're another one that I seen you got a video coming, new one out. I'm eager to catch it. I just haven't had time today to catch it yet.
Yeah, after this, I'll probably start catching up on a few videos. Once we get off here.
And I was looking at our No Name 500 stats, and we was tied earlier this morning, but he picked up a couple this evening and pulled ahead. It's like, you son of a bitch. Almost had
That's the fun part about it. I mean, I had a blast when me and BareRose were doing that.
Uh-huh.
And then he did some some short and just took off and left me. So
It was
Sometimes you get
me,
lucky that way.
you, and Jeff from Two Hacks. We were all
yeah, it was all three of us right there together.
That's the way it is right now.
that's
While
good.
6% has 420, I have
420.
416, and Rob's Rod and Custom has 414. This morning we was all within like 2 of each other. 414, 13, 15, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man, this is neck and neck. Because I'll get up in the morning and I'll check the sub counts, just to see how the day's going or what we got to work with.
Oh, and like I was telling 6% on his community post about YouTube pulling your subs like that. Like I was telling you, man, don't let that crap get to you. At one point, I was at 487, and John messaged me and said, "Hey, let's do a live. Let's push you over." I said, "Cool, let's do it for tomorrow night." I woke up that night and I was back to 420. And it kept doing that to me. And of all numbers, it kept putting me back to 420. And like I said, after a while, though, I would notice all of these names that I knew had subscribed to me, all of a sudden started popping up on my little bell thing, it tells you, hey, somebody subscribed. And it was the same names. And I was like, oh, wait. What it was is YouTube was putting them back. So it takes a while, but they will slowly come back to you. Then after I broke 500, all of a sudden, well, I was stuck at like 518 for a while. And then all of a sudden, boom, 650, boom, 7. And then I hit that viral one. I don't count it. And it went crazy on me. But that's what it was. It was YouTube giving back all of the ones that they were holding.
It's like your check had to clear.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it did that to me at 500, and then at 1,000, because I went over 1,000. Like I had like 1,020, and then it backed me off to like 980 for like 3 or 4 days. And then it bounced right back up.
I think it's because of those big milestones,
It might be.
They want to make sure that you're a real person and that the subs that you're getting aren't fake and phony.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I don't know.
I broke the 1,300 mark finally.
Way to go, man. Cool.
Where am I at now? And it was in that last series of videos I did, because I hadn't been putting out any videos. That's probably why I was kind of stuck at that 1,280 or whatever. But now I'm at 1,312.
Sweet.
So I'm inching up there. I don't know if I'll hit my goal of 2,000 by the time No Name comes around, but
well, after you break 1,000, well, and you make the monetization requirements, after that, the sub count really doesn't mean much after that.
No, I mean it's milestones
it does for more
me.
views.
Well, I'm not even worried about views. That's for me to know that I'm still doing good.
Exactly. And that's why I tell everybody to use that monetization goal as your goal. If you keep that in your mind, it drives you to do more videos, and
right.
It helps you.
Yeah, I'm not worried about getting monetized. I just want my 500 for No Name. That's all.
Well,
I started this channel just saying 30 years from now, when I'm dead and gone, the grandkids can, it's like the photo album.
Right.
Basically what it is today's photo album.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so when you're gone, your loved ones can sit there and watch what you were doing, hear your voice.
I mean, nothing's better than sitting down to photo albums and that, or actually we got the old disposable cameras.
Yeah.
We probably got probably got 12 or 15 of those old disposables up here in the cupboard that we never got developed. Probably
I
cost
found
arm and leg to get them developed nowadays if you could find
If
them.
you could find somebody.
and if they're still good. We
Yeah.
found a whole bunch of 110. Remember 110 cameras? The
Oh, yeah.
film that looked like that. And we found of all places, Walgreens still did it, and we took them in to have them developed, but they were so old that they come out all overexposed, and it costs a bunch now.
Yeah. It just makes me wonder what's on those old cameras, you know. It's like, what did we
Used to have a bunch of that and 35 millimeter.
Yep.
Remember the days when you were afraid to take a picture because it cost so much for a roll of film?
Yeah. Do I want to burn?
Nowadays, it's
Do I
like
want to
fill it
burn?
up.
Well, nowadays you can take video.
Exactly. And if you don't like the picture, delete.
Yep.
You don't have to take it in and spend another, what, 10, 20 bucks to have it
Usually
developed.
yeah, getting a roll of film developed was usually about 15, 16 bucks. And that's
Yeah.
only the ones that turned out. If they didn't turn out, they didn't charge you for them.
I remember that when my aunt got that Polaroid, you know, that was the coolest thing ever, but it was like, don't only take a couple pictures because it costs so much.
They were $1 a piece back in the day. You get a 10-pack, spits it out. Had to shake it.
Had to shake it to dry it out.
It's cool because you'd watch it develop and be like, ooh, ah.
The coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Actually, I think Jason's garage, I think he sent us a Polaroid camera a while back. And we was trying to find film for it, but it was outrageous.
Do they
Oh,
still
can you
make
still
it?
find it?
Yeah,
Wow.
but I don't know if it's new old stock and it's 30 years old or
You snap the picture and smoke rolls off of it.
oh, the old flash bars. It'd melt the plastic. It was so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Don't touch
those.
it. Don't touch it. It's hot.
I remember my mom had that 110 camera, had the cubes. You get
Yep.
4 pictures out of them. Stick it in there, and it would, when you wound it, it would turn.
Yep. Well, if you took a pic, you could just trip the wire and waste it. That was
Good
almost
Lord.
a firecracker back in the day. Hey, look,
Yeah.
flash cube. Boy, that goes way back.
My grandfather had one of those old ones that you had to plug in, and you put the light bulb in it. He had one of those. I don't know if he had the camera for it, but I remember him having that because I was like, what kind of lamp is this?
Yeah, it actually
It
had
was out in
an
his
attachment
garage.
to the bulb.
Yeah. I don't know if he had the camera, but I know he had the flash.
I have a good friend in Scotland that he's a professional photographer, and he actually still does a lot of his photography on those old cameras like that.
Really?
He says he gets a better tone with it, and he can adjust the shutter and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
he actually sells more of those than his digital stuff.
That's interesting. Yeah, because they are pretty cool pictures.
My wife always wanted a professional camera, a real camera, because she was big into photography at one time, and I bought her a Canon Rebel. And it's cool. I thought, well, I could double, I could use it for my YouTube too, because it does video. That thing is so freaking complicated. No. If you have a cameraman and they're running it all the time, yeah, it'd probably work pretty good for YouTube videoing, but It's too complicated.
You know, I was using that camera that I bought for a while, and it just got too cumbersome. It's easier just to grab my little tripod and my phone and use my phone.
Just pull your phone out of the pocket. Beep. There you go.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's just a little tripod thing though. You know, I can hold it out and I can set it up if I want to. It works so much easier than trying to get my camera out and set up the big tripod and all that stuff. And
Yeah, this YouTube video and stuff, it ain't as easy as they make it all out to be.
mm,
I'd be
like
scared to
convince my
sit back
kids.
and think about how much time I've spent, filming and actual working. There's a lot of time that goes into the whole video and process, editing it, sending it, all of that stuff. Dang.
And some of the stuff is like the setup for the video. And, like today I was making a video about changing the calipers. And somebody called me. And while I'm talking to them on the phone, I'm putting the calipers on, talking to them and everything. And then I'm all done. I'm like, well, I stopped videoing.
Oh.
So I got like half a video.
Yeah, and it pays to go off, people that that you live subscribe to, and make sure. Sometimes they pull you for no reason.
Yeah,
LB Bruin. I had to sub him like 6 times. I don't know why YouTube didn't like me subbing him.
Well, like I said last year, I figured out that you really need to like a video and make a comment, even if it's like I subscribe to you.
Yep, I do that anytime now.
And like, YouTube seems to hold it then once you've made a comment.
And subscribe from the video. Open up a video of theirs and then subscribe from there, like, and then put a little comment. I usually put pretty cool stuff because it's real quick.
Well, anything that it triggered through the algorithm.
Right.
I always do that. I'll leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and usually it's like, hey, a new sub for you. I'm needing some myself.
Yeah.
They come back. 90% of the time, it's I got so many subscriptions I can't even keep track anymore. But
I know. Don't ever say, "Hey, I'll sub you if you sub me." Don't do that. That's illegal.
I usually
will get you for that one.
Well, a lot of these, because you get into some of these other channels, and all they're doing is they're promoting other channels too. You go in there and it's like, hey, if you want to put your link up, they'll tell you whatever the trigger word is for the Nightbot or whatever.
Yeah, Mike uses that. My cousin.
I mean, I got onto a gardening channel, cooking channel, and it's like, well, some of these videos are actually pretty good,
Yeah.
Because my sister has the garden. I usually I get delegated to go up and tip it for every spring, do all the prep work, which
it pays to branch out like that.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the direction you're going to focus your channel,
Right. Life has many facets.
Yeah.
And there's
things. I decided long ago not to just lock myself into just car content.
Well, my channel, I don't do enough car content to make it a car channel. It's just part of what I do. I did that one video where we, shooting in the crossbows. The end of the year season, I made some video on that. Content's where you find it.
Well, like you said, your channel is more of a family album, photo album type thing. So you're doing what your channel's about by doing all of that stuff.
I'm making a scrapbook basically.
Yeah.
That one I did about hunting, that turned out to be I go back and watch my own videos sometimes. It's like, this one wasn't too bad. you know, you scrutinize your own stuff.
I hate watching my old videos.
Yeah.
Did that
Boy,
one
when people
video.
make comments on some of my first videos and I got to go back and rewatch them, boy,
Crit-
isn't that an eye opener?
Yeah,
Watch a video you did 2 years ago. Whoa.
cringe.
well, somebody had asked me a question on one of my spark plug videos, you know, for nitrous and stuff. And I told my wife, I was like, I'm gonna have to go watch this video so I know what he's talking about. 'Cause it was like 7 months ago. I was like, okay, well now I gotta go watch the video.
Actually, I'm getting surprised at how many videos I have on my channel. It's like, wow.
They add up quick.
You know, it's like way back. I did some shorts of the squirrel out here on the power line. You know, I won't say they're stupid shorts, but you know, you got it. Animals, it tugs at people's heartstrings. You know, stupid cat videos.
Mm-hmm. It's all
Like
good
the
stuff.
cat was being a bitch the other night. She was getting into the glass cupboard up here, and I've recorded it, turned it into a short. I got 4 subs. You know.
No way, Terry. You're good. I tell you
Sorry,
what,
guys.
you are dang good. I think they just haven't gotten it out there yet. He does. He sounds like Roy Orbison or Elvis Presley. He does great job with it.
You know, if Ari would sing Elvis, he could pull it off. He's already got the hair. Wendy was wondering if he dyed his hair, it's so black. It's like, no, he's probably still young enough. It's all one color.
And I don't even know how I stumbled across those videos of you singing, Terry. It just all of a sudden came up on my suggestions. I think it's because I use YouTube for my radio too. I listen to, I'll put up like music on here and then I'll go off and do stuff. So I think it might have picked that up. And I've also watched a bunch of your videos that said, hey, here's Terry Grover singing Roy Orbison. Wow. And I listen to a lot of music that other people are playing because, well, I used to play, so I kind of like that.
You know, speaking of that, I need to get some more videos made of for my other channel. I haven't done anything on that channel in a while.
I'm lucky to have this one channel.
Exactly. I thought about opening another channel at one time, way back in the early days. But looking at it now, that's just too much work. One channel takes everything I got.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got my this main channel, and then I have the guitar channel. Then I have a dash cam channel that I had just for my Toyota pickup. And then I got, what's the other one? There's another one.
You got multiples.
Yeah, I got a few channels, but this is the only one that's done anything because I've focused on this channel.
Yeah.
The other ones are just other stuff, and it's not focused at all.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had a channel.
See, what are my 3 channels?
Before No Name Nationals last year. It's like, yeah, if you can, you know, like on YouTube, if you can comment, you need to have a screen name. It's like, if you got a screen name, you got a YouTube channel. I didn't know that. It's like, huh.
Yeah. You just don't have any videos out yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting along.
See, this main channel's got they're showing 1310 on this channel, and then I got 6 on my dash cam channel and 34 on my guitar channel.
34. I think I'm one of them. I've seen your guitar channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't been doing anything with it, and I hadn't even hardly touched my guitar in a month or so. I need to get out and get to playing it.
I'll tell you what, though, that takes balls to play an instrument or to sing on YouTube in front of the whole world. That takes balls, man. I
Well,
used
I mean,
to
the thing
stand-
is what's the worst thing somebody can do? Say that I suck? I know I suck.
I used to have to take like
What the
sit
hell?
down and drink about 4 or 5 beers to be able to stand up in front of a crowd of about 20. I can only imagine for you, man.
Yeah, karaoke's
Good
bad
job.
enough.
Probably why-
Karaoke's like
I was a
half a dozen
karaoke king
years
back in the
later.
day. Well, you know, the nice thing about karaoke is that the songs get better as the night progresses.
Mhm.
And that just means how much alcohol you have in your system.
Yep.
Well, by midnight, 1 o'clock, you're
You're
more
blasting.
you
Everybody
drink,
that sings
better I
sounds great.
everybody else is
sounds
singing
great
with
at that point.
It's like I might know all the words, but I can't sing it for shit.
But you know, one of the things that got me over being on camera was being on these lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
it's-
can watch my old videos and tell whenever I start getting on the lives and stuff and talking to people because my attitude in front of the camera changes big time.
More comfortable, and your personality comes out because you're not, oh, camera, okay, oh,
Yeah,
You're-
yeah,
you know,
yeah. If you
you're
watch
just-
some of my first videos, it's
Relax.
like, oh God, this guy.
Yeah, I was that way on my first, but yeah, still to this day to a point. But you can hear it in my voice. I'm almost pushing it, trying to get because I'll get stuck for words, and it's like, you know.
Oh yeah.
I still get stuck
this-
for words. You just don't see them in my video because I cut them out.
This is the best thing they ever invented was this little cut button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, that pause button, that hides a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, this one doesn't pause; it just ends it. And after I learned I got iMovies on my phone, it's like, hey, I can splice shit together. I don't have to do it in one take. And it's like, then it started getting fun.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. As you're doing it, you get comfortable with the camera and how to work the camera, being in front of the camera. You learn to self-edit with it. You can pause it as you're going over to the next one because you're sick and tired of sitting and trying to edit it out on your phone or on here. And you can just, okay, pause it. You go over to the next one. You know right where to go, and you set it
Yep.
up. And the more you do it, the more it easy flows in.
You got to give it an extra 5 or 10 seconds so you can chop it off on the end.
Uh-huh.
There's wife Wendy.
Hello, Wendy.
Hello.
There's the other eye.
Just wondering if the cat was up there because she's not down here messing with me.
Wendy, you should change your name to Two-Eyed Cat.
Or other-eyed cat.
Oh, I got the other one.
Or Other-Eyed Cat.
She's under the blanket.
What, flowers?
Yep.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
She's under the blanket.
Boy, I hear you, 6%. I have one video, and for the longest time, it was my only video that got any traction. And it is painful for me to watch. I am such a dead fish walking around, all the way through it. I don't know why people watched it. And it's like an hour long, and it's got
Oh,
a
Lord.
45-minute retention rate.
Really?
Don't ask me why. It shouldn't.
Wow.
Absolutely should not have that. Every time I get a comment on that video, though, I dread it because I got to go back and watch that dumb son of a gun walking around with a camera trying to figure out what. Oh.
You know,
I
the
know.
barrels, I've noticed something about commenting on videos. If people comment and I reply to them, they start getting more impressions. If I interact with people that are reply to their comments on my videos.
Oh, yeah, Lord, yeah. Yeah, that's how you keep it going. When I tell everybody, grab that tiger by the tail and hang on, that's exactly what that is. When people
Well,
comment to your video,
That's Buck Owens, isn't it?
keep going.
Roy Clark.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's what drives it into the algorithm. The
Yeah,
more comments you get,
I noticed that if I start commenting on them, it'll
It's
start
all
getting
interaction.
more impression. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's why
And
I
so-
try and go in and, you know, I like to comment on all my comments, you know, just to give them recognition.
Right. I at least try and give them a thumbs up if I'm busy at work or something. I'll give them a thumbs up, but then I'll go back and I'll reply.
If you can grab their attention right there, and they fire back a comment again within,
That's like a,
I think it's within 24 hours. I think. I don't know this stuff for sure. It's just what I've noticed. But and they fire back and you fire back again, and you know, you get a conversation going. Or if people without you start having a conversation inside of yours, it drives it in the algorithm.
Okay.
I never had that a whole lot. Mostly just between me and the commenter. But
No.
yeah, I like to
Think that's why I
reciprocate.
got 1,400 views on that one long form I did. A conversation broke out in the comments.
No.
And I wasn't involved in it all the way. I'd have to come back in and, oh, what are you guys talking about? Because it keeps popping up in mine. And, oh, you're talking with yourselves. Okay. And then, you know, and then I'd add a little something. And
But isn't the YouTube rule of thumb is 10% of your subscribers for views or something like that in 24 hours?
in 24, yeah.
So if you have 1,000,
it's a rule
so
of
you'd
thumb.
you'd want 100 in a 24-hour period, right?
Yeah.
If you had 1,000 subscribers, and that makes YouTube say, "Oh, that's a good video."
Yeah. That's why I try to publish my videos at 7 o'clock my time, all the time.
I
I'm
try
bad
to
at it. I'm really bad at it, and I break it all the time. And every time I break it, boom, YouTube punishes the hell out of me.
That's why I like to let mine loose, like 5, 6 o'clock. Figure people get home from work on the East Coast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, 5, 6 o'clock.
And then
It's like
it gives
sports.
time
They do
all the way
spike for
through.
45 minutes and then they fall right off, you know.
If you watch,
Yeah.
Uncle Tony does his at about 11 o'clock every day. They're always consistent all the time.
Gets that lunch crowd and then the evening crowd later.
And not only that, it's whatever time you pick, because your audience will gravitate to whatever time you're choosing.
Right. And I figured out that about 5 o'clock my time works pretty good for me.
Yeah. It's all about consistency is what it is. Whatever you make consistent, just stay with it.
It's like pulling your own time slot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like bracket racing.
Yeah. I can't do that.
And right now I'm
hit the
red
brakes
lighting
there.
all over the place. Look at me. I'm over here giving
like the
YouTube
one-
advice, and I'm right now I'm floundering.
Let's see. I posted a video tonight, and I can't remember. It was probably around 5 o'clock, 6. No, it's probably 6:30 because I was already eating dinner. And it's gotten 25 views. You know, it ain't great, but I posted a short yesterday or day before, and it got almost 1,000.
Shorts are a complete and total wild card. Me and Landon tested that. We were standing shoulder to shoulder. We both pretty much videoed the exact same thing. I titled mine a little different. He titled his a little different. We put descriptions, everything. 1, 2, 3, publish. His 2,800 views, like that. Mine, 14. Then later that night, I published a different one. Same thing, you know, just, well, not the exact same video, but same thing, you know, I filled out the description, everything, titled it like a title, everything. boom, it took off like 1400 that fast.
Wow.
I have no idea why. You just
Well,
got to catch that. It's like putting nickels in the slot machine.
Yeah.
You got to just catch it at that right time and it'll take off.
Well, it still kills me that I can watch them and right there at an hour, they'll be coming up real good. And then right there at an hour, it just flattens out.
Yeah. It's like you burned up your nickel.
Yeah.
He was at the craps table and sevens.
Yep.
No, it's more like the old pinball machine. It might rattle, 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 or it might be. It's like, boy, that was quick.
Well,
The three plays for a quarter.
Not nowadays.
But I
It's
caught a live on
$5.
Irishes where Dudes with
Ball.
Wrenches was on, and he explained to us the shorts and how that all works. And it's kind of crazy. He explained to us like his shorts are actually hurting him on his long form. Now he's making it big time on shorts because that dude has got it down packed. But because he's always on the short feed and he's always doing shorts, he's got the short feed audience. And the short feed audience only wants to see a 1 minute video.
Yeah.
right.
So when they go over to his long form, they only watch 1-2 minutes of it and they lose attention and they go off and watch something else.
Right.
So
Well,
if you
this
focus on shorts, that's what you're going to get. And
Right.
if you're looking for monetization and stuff like that, wow, you got to have super numbers. Like
Well, it's like 10
my
million
biggest short
views.
doesn't even compare. Yeah.
I guess it's feasible. You get one short to get 10 million views, but
I ain't never done it. I don't even have one that's hit 1 million yet.
When I do my shorts, I'm looking more at how many subs can I get, if I get any.
right.
It's nice having the views because then the odds are in your favor.
Now, shorts will give you subs.
I know. I've got a bunch of mine from subs, but I've playing at people's heartstrings.
Yeah.
Wendy's brother got a white lab puppy.
Yeah.
It was stuck on the couch. He didn't want to jump off. He was scared of jumping off the couch, which is this high. And
It would work.
Yeah, it's like if people like animals.
How many subs you get from that, Don?
Do
you remember?
Nah, I could go look quick though.
Well, the video I posted today, I tried to make it into a short through my phone, and YouTube kept kicking it back. It wouldn't reformat it.
How long ago was that?
It was tonight.
Was it tonight? About 3 days ago, I had that happen.
So I just ended up doing it as a long form because it's kind of a pain in the butt to download it to my computer, change the aspect ratio, zoom it in just right to make it look right.
In fact, that's why my latest video was done off my phone. You can tell every video I do off my phone because my audio sucks. But it's because I've got 2 videos that are hung right now. I can't get them to render through. And it's because of my POS computer here.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping when I get my new one, I'll be able to edit and be able to use some more of my editing software. Because some of the stuff on my editing software will actually lock my computer up and I can't use it.
Yeah. Right now, I have to load everything into an external hard drive, and then I use the editor, but it picks it up from the external, not the one inside the computer. Everything goes through the external, and then when I close it out, I have to shove it straight into the external so it doesn't go into the computer. Otherwise, it locks it up.
Wow.
Because I got very, very little RAM in this and very little. I mean, this thing's 12, 15 years old.
It's amazing how fast a computer can get outdated.
Well, there for a while, they were outdated before you got them home.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
Yeah. They get outdated as soon as you walk out the door.
Well, I used to have a buddy of mine, Tony Fagley, rest his soul. He got into computers back when they first started. You know, he used to work at the computer store and this and that. He built them on the side, and he built our first one. And that was back in the early 2000s. And, you know, they were good for a while, and then saying they get outdated. But he's always good. He'd always upgrade. It's just like, yeah, bring it in. As soon as we start having trouble, it's like, yeah, because he had a workbench in his garage just for when he built computers. It wouldn't take nothing for him to throw in a new hard drive or whatever. You know, the buddy price.
Back in the 90s, I built my own computer, but I don't know much about computers. Back then, they were pretty simple.
Now, once you put all the components together, you just clone the hard drive. And
I don't know what we're going to do now that he's gone.
Well, it's been a few years.
One thing about shorts that I did find, a secret recipe for them, is you find ones that can be loopable. I've got a couple of them out there, and that one that went viral, it's actually a loopable, and it's completely by accident. By loopable, I mean you don't know when it ends, and that's why I've got like 125% retention rate on it. It
starts repeating, and people don't realize it.
And it was completely by accident. When it ends, that's just when the 1 minute mark hit. And it looks like the same as when I started, so.
Oh, okay. I ain't thinking about doing something like that.
You can't tell when it ends.
Yeah. So when it starts again, because it'll play in a loop.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
I'll do that. I'll do that when I'm recording segments or whatever. I'll try and stay in the same part of the camera. That way, when I start it, I don't have this image jumping from.
Yeah.
See? Like I told you, the more you do this, the more you self-edit. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You're getting it, Don. You're getting it.
No, there's a learning curve.
Well done. You're going to have to learn everything all new tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting a new phone.
Oh. One of these days, I got to do that, too.
He already has it. I went down Wednesday to activate it at Verizon, and the system was down. They couldn't activate it. So I made an appointment for Sunday at 3:00.
It's going to be a new learning curve.
We already have the phone. We just it's not activated. He went from an iPhone 8 to an iPhone 13.
It's like
big jump.
Yeah, and I'm lucky to know this thing.
My problem is my fingers don't work good on a touch screen. So,
yeah, that or they're too fat and they don't. It's like you're trying to do this little adjustment on the.
Well, he was due for an upgrade, and I signed into Verizon and hit like his phone number. I mean, it's under my account. I hit his phone number. He was eligible for a free upgrade. I hit the free one. He went from an 8 to a 13, and the price is still the same.
I'll take it.
He just has to have it for
2 years.
No,
2-year contract on it?
It's a 3-year.
3.
I've had Verizon ever since my kids were younger.
Well,
But I hooked up with Verizon when they were younger. I paid $10 on phone, and that was at Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Wow. When Radio Shack was still alive.
Yeah, through Verizon. Just freaking flip phone. It was $10.
I had Verizon, but at my dad's, if I go in the shop, the Verizon doesn't, the Wi-Fi doesn't work. The phone will still work, but the Wi-Fi sucks inside of his shop. So that's why I went AT&T. In my area, it works all over.
Yeah, but I've had Verizon.
I tried T-Mobile. Oh my God, that was horrible. I had to step outside to answer my phone.
I've never had trouble with Verizon.
We're lucky. We got a tower right over here.
Yeah.
Oh, and when I was on
3
Verizon,
blocks?
I was doing a monster truck show in Vernal, Utah at the fairgrounds. The Verizon tower is in the fairgrounds, and I had no reception, no bars. And I'm staring at the damn tower.
You're
I was
It says
gonna
Verizon on
climb
it.
that thing.
I didn't see you at the. Oh, there.
That was the strangest thing, because as soon as I crossed the Colorado line, it was like a wall, and all of a sudden my phone exploded.
Bling, bling,
Lit
bling,
up
bling,
like a
bling.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 5G tower. What, Don? What? 2 blocks away? Over by the Hiawatha.
Well, it's 300 yards as the crow flies.
Wow.
I kept looking around, make sure that tower was plugged into something, or if it was just up there for advertisement. You son of a.
Hey, BareRose, it was there for you to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
We tried Sprint for a while, and I was driving back and forth an hour and a half to work. I turn off the main highway to go down 14, and I wouldn't have any signal for about an hour down that road.
Yep. It's like I'm
So
going
I mean, if I
to
would have
lose
broke down or
signal.
something, I would have been done.
Yeah, you learn those dead spots. Like I'm about to lose my signal, so I have to
Yep.
get back to you.
And we actually got Xfinity now, and it works pretty good. It's not too bad. AT&T
Yeah, you
just
get
got
up
too
into
expensive.
strange areas like well, you're going to be up there by Glacier too, hubby. And as far as I know, Glacier and Yellowstone have no towers. So cell service in a lot of those places, yeah, non-existent. Because they can't build any towers in national parks.
I
Wow.
don't know why they don't just make them look like trees.
Because they don't look like trees.
Paint them green. Paint
They
'em
look like a tree that, came from the shallow end of the gene pool.
Travis.
Oh
Travis,
yeah, but still.
you have Infinity
Yes.
cell phone?
Yeah, Xfinity cell phone.
What's that cost you a month?
What is it? $142?
Just for one phone.
Oh, I don't know. The total bill, I got 4 phones. 2 of them have unlimited, and the other 2 have like 2 gigs of internet, and it's $142 a month. So it's really not that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason AT&T works really good up in this area.
AT&T
And
works
I hate
good.
AT&T, but
Well, AT&T works a lot of good places because AT&T pays the leases on every tower,
every
and that's
tower.
why AT&T is so expensive.
Actually, mine's $43 a month.
Right.
But I have the 2 gig, and every time I upload a video from my phone, I got to come in, use the Wi-Fi to my router, and then it goes through that away. It doesn't use the
Yeah.
gig on the phone then.
Right.
Right.
But when I
Yeah.
went to No Name Nationals and I did all those shorts, yeah, I went way over.
Well, that's the thing, because when we had AT&T, we had unlimited everything on 3 phones, and it was like $400 a month. It was ridiculous.
Good night, 6%. He's out.
Good to see you tonight, man.
Later.
I mean, we have 5 accounts on our Verizon thingy, and our bill's like
Mhm.
$300 a month. And that's
Wow.
like limited everything.
Dang, that's a carburetor.
He don't
Or
need a
2.
carburetor. He has 6. He has a
Huh.
5 barrel and a 1 barrel.
4 and a 1.
Yeah, but what about Gurley?
That's a 1.
Yeah, and Norm has a
5.
5.
4.
Oh, that's 6. Sorry.
But I'm on a very basic plan. Like I said, I use a burner phone because, yeah, I smash the ever living heck out of them all the
Yeah.
time. So
I've
I'm
been
scared of having a good phone.
I've been pretty good with my phones.
Oh, but the one that got ran over by that truck
Wow, I'd left
Yeah.
it on the
years
road.
ago.
That was
Ran
all
it over
right.
with the tractor. I buried one with the backhoe. Oh. I'm rough on them. Or I'll put them in my pocket, forget about it, and pick
Crunch,
up something heavy.
crunch. I left mine on the hood of my truck one time, and we was hunting up along the interstate. Like, got out on the road. It's like, oh, where's my phone? Oh shit, it's there. You know, about that time it blew off the hood, and it landed in the highway, but it was kind of sort of fine. But when I pulled over against the guardrails, there was a truck coming through, so he moved over because it laid right on the center line. Oh yeah, he made it flat.
Oh,
It
yeah,
bounced.
he crushed it.
It bounced. You know, they're not made for 40,000 pounds to run over them.
No.
Tractor trailer running over.
There's a guy at work, and he had some. I'm not sure what kind of phone it was, but it was a military grade, like flip phone. He
Yeah,
dropped
Landon had
200.
one.
He dropped that thing 200 foot off the Hersick. Went down, picked it up, and made a phone call to make sure it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked.
I forget the name of them, but yeah, I know which brand you're talking about because that's the one
Yeah.
that Landon Custom had for a long time. You could drop it in water and pick it up and it still work. You can make phone call, everything with it. But they're kind of bulky. They're almost like a flip phone. They
Well,
don't
his was a
do.
flip phone.
It was the flip phone one. Landon's was the open face one, but he's got a video of it. He run it over with his Highboy Ford, all kinds of stuff, and yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he had it in his like overalls, in the top pocket, and lifted something up, and it came right out and flipped over the guardrail and went down. I was like, "You need a new phone." He's like, "I bet you I don't." Like, there is no way that phone survived.
Well, Verizon messed Don's phone up, the one he has now. He got that phone November 2 years ago. And for his iCloud password, it was 62 Valiant, and they put it in there. He has so much stuff in iCloud, he can't get.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about the cloud. Oh, yeah.
I mean, he puts the password in, it says it's wrong. And we
Yep.
can't.
Well, it wants the security questions, and I don't remember the security.
And Verizon set it up.
All of our build for the 55 we did, and the Volkswagen and Sir Rat, they're out there somewhere in the cloud, and we can't get any of that footage.
And it says
That sucks.
It says the email starts with an I. We don't have an email that starts with an I. We used to have one probably 20 years ago. We never used that email. Verizon's the one that set it up. Yep. So anything that's in Don's iCloud, he's going to lose. Unless we can recover that password.
Well, I already lost it. I haven't been able to get it for a couple years now.
When's the last time it was updated, Don? I mean,
I'm sure ours is gone
like
too.
400 days.
I mean, that was good Lord. The Volkswagen was 9 years ago now.
Well, that's like my first YouTube channel. I can't get into it because the password to reset it is to an old email that I closed long ago, and they won't let me update it.
Yep.
And that's why I ended up setting up this channel, because I couldn't get into my old channel anymore because I'd lost the password.
I had an old one too. It was just me riding my horse through the mountains here. I tried setting it to music. That's when I first found out about copyrights.
Good night,
Well, see,
Terry.
Well, a couple
back when
years
I had
ago,
that
I
one,
had a iPhone 5, and my phone was acting up. So I called Verizon. They sent me a new SIM card.
hmm
So I took it to Verizon, and they were putting it in to refresh my phone. Here they sent the wrong one. Didn't screw up my phone, and I had to buy another phone because it was their problem. They wouldn't help me out. They're the ones that put the SIM card in and froze my phone. I lost everything in that phone.
That's why I back everything up in hard stuff. I got many of these hanging around, and there's like 10 videos in that little guy.
But I lost everything in that phone.
Yeah.
I tried to activate that phone. All I had to do was take the SIM card out and put it in, and I couldn't get nothing. And my son and them do it, so I took it to the Verizon store, and they tried, and they're like, "Oh, this phone is fried because Verizon. Oh, we sent you the wrong card."
My wife's phone, earlier phone, did that. Luckily, we had all the pictures backed up, but it was from when you plug it in to charge it, the phone would get hot. I mean, really hot. It was going to catch fire, and it did that, and it fried everything in it to the point they couldn't retrieve any of the information out of it.
Yeah, they say
And that's why she had to switch phones.
they say if you don't charge your phone when it comes with it will fry your phone.
Yeah, a Samsung, you have to charge with a Samsung charger. There's different amperages, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, BareRose,
It almost lit fire.
look at the private chat, and I put a link to my old channel.
Oh, I'll check her out.
Throw that out there in your in chat and see if anybody wants to look at that channel. That's from long ago.
Let's see. Open link.
I just looked at it. Some of those videos are 14 years old.
$10 subscribers.
Yep.
There we go. Mazda Speed, huh?
Yep.
Don, how many subscribers you get on the white puppy?
On the what?
20.
Mike's
Oh.
That one short I put out about my brother-in-law's pup.
White lab.
Oh, okay.
Stuck on the couch. I got 26 subs off that short.
How many views did it get?
1,521.
Wow. That's pretty good for a short of a new,
It's just
especially
playing
of a
on
new
people's
channel.
hearts.
Yeah.
Like I did a video of the neighbor's cat over here. Every time you'd meow to her, she'd meow back. So it was like, she says, like and subscribe, like I'm putting words in the cat's mouth. Animal lovers they're suckers for animal videos,
Yep.
Good Lord, look at those cat videos. Have you ever seen those? They're like just pictures of a bird feeder. And what people will do with them is they use them for cat babysitters. They just show them, and then their cats play with them for hours and hours and hours.
Oh.
They're racking up views in hours like no tomorrow.
Don, how many subs does Penny the cat have?
Oh, I don't know. That's ridiculous. They break 1 million.
That's her daughter talking, but the cat goes like this.
Yeah, it's Penny the cat. It's like it has a baby voice, and the cat's talking to the mom or whatever, to the owner. It's just stupid. They got like 1 million follower view or
Let's see if
subs.
I can find it.
It's mostly shorts, but hey, whatever works for you.
I was watching one of DD Speed Shop's videos on that kind of stuff though, and well, he's talking about how to create your your YouTube channels and all of that stuff. DD Speed Shop's got some really cool videos on how he breaks it all down on how it all works. And one of the things he brought up though is like, don't compare yourself to like the video game channels and stuff. Those guys that are getting like 1 million views and stuff like that. So don't compare yourself to guys like that if you're looking for, again, monetization and stuff, because they're actually not getting paid like we are on automotive. In automotive, we're in a different category, totally all on its own. We have better advertising in this group that
I believe
we
that.
actually get paid more for doing less. And the video games and, like I said, the bird feeder videos, those guys
Yeah.
ain't making nothing off of them
Yeah,
at
they're
all.
dime a dozen
Even though they got huge numbers like that, it doesn't equate to what we do. So
Mr. Greaves.
Oh, Petty the Cat has 1.2 M subscribers.
1.2 million.
1.2 million.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just a cat
Wow.
talking back.
I mean, she's making money off of it, obviously, but
She
it's
has
not.
to be.
It's
Yeah.
not in the same percentage-wise as what us in the
Right.
automotive world are making.
It's
In
like,
other words,
it's a
Ford
different grade.
and Pfizer pay millions of dollars for all those ads they run on your videos,
Right.
but a video game only pays $20 for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the craziest one I ran across was it's the girl's name and it's jumping rope, and all she does is shorts, right? And she's got like 5 million subscribers.
Yep.
I found
This girl in a little like tennis outfit jumping rope in different places.
right. And then there's that chick that plays golf. She's always wearing a revealing top, and it's like you go and look see
Yeah.
how many subscribers they got, and it's like, really? There's that
Yeah,
many
that's-
pervs out there just want to see a
Yep.
cleavage.
Yep. There is.
Well, because you get some of these channels, and it's like they start repeating or a couple different shorts, and then you just click on their, to see their home page, and it's like 295,000 subscribers, whatever the number,
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
People watch weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because some of them watch me, and that's
Yeah.
they got to be weird.
I'm gonna send you some batteries, BareRose.
Yeah, I already told him about that.
Yeah. We're gonna
What
start
size?
a
Double or
GoFundMe for batteries for BareRose.
double,
A.
double or triple? I work at Family Dollar. Oh, I'm sorry, Dollar Tree. I can get you.
I'm guessing they're double A's.
That's like my signature though.
Yeah,
Time stops.
it's like the
Pick up
atomic
live.
clock. It's 16 minutes to midnight.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that movie, Dr. Strangelove. That's one of my all-time favorites. With the big doomsday clock in the background.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some more drone videos. See how those will do.
What kind of videos?
Drone.
Oh, yeah.
Getting my drone out, like going out down to the lake or something like that and flying around on a lake and whatnot. Wonder if they'll do any good.
Well, there's going to be more and more of them as it goes. So
Yeah.
If you can get something interesting to record, I'm sure.
Depends on the weather. You don't know if it's going to be 60 or 70 or freezing.
Or
The wind-
windy.
It's windy.
Yeah, the wind is. It's like when I tried to take that first video at No Name, and I put the drone up and it took off. It went outside the gate. I had to have it come back.
Bring it back.
And it was struggling. We was all standing there. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
It was pretty windy yesterday. I was out for a break at work, and it was only a 10-minute break. I didn't smoke a cigarette or anything, and I'm just sitting in the van. I didn't have any windows down or anything, and that wind was kicking. My sensor thing, or my smelly thing that was hanging on the mirror,
Your air freshener.
moving. And I didn't have the heat on. I didn't even start my van or anything because it was already a 10-minute break. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, that wind will blow you around.
it was wicked.
Nothing like driving down the interstate and all of a sudden you're in the other lane.
We didn't even take the trash out that night.
I
And
didn't,
the
I
cardboard,
didn't want,
because it would have blown all over putting it in the dumpster.
well, I didn't want to chase the can down the street anyway.
Boy, that was another scary thing on the motorcycle. When you're riding along on the freeway in the wind and a semi truck had come by you, all of a sudden, whoa, suck you right into it. Oh man, ooh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that make your pooper pucker.
It's like you're carrying a piece of plywood.
Mm-hmm.
Windshields make a big difference. At least they're consistent.
But on those drone videos you was talking about, just on your general videos when you're working on Old Red or whatever, if you could do like a back shot of you going up and over, just a quick little one like that, and then edit that into the video where you see up and over of what you're doing, and then go back into what you're doing. Stuff like that would work great.
Well, what I'm planning on doing is, especially when I get the truck out and get it out there to Rivergate, is I'm gonna have somebody else running the drone while I'm driving and try and go slow and have the drone like go around the truck as I'm driving.
Shots like that would be golden.
Oh yeah.
I think. I don't know. It's all.
Yeah.
See some of these drone videos where these guys are stunt driving them, and it's like, holy shit, how do they not crash into that tower? They'll split uprights or something, or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I didn't know all four of them showed up when I closed my camera, Don.
Yeah, whatever your channel insignia is. I'm not logged in, so I don't know if it'll do it.
For my grandkids, I didn't know that showed up like that.
Yeah, I'm not logged into StreamYard, so
That's an old picture.
it
Yeah.
won't do it for me.
Very young.
But it's 11 o'clock, guys. I think I'm gonna go crash.
Yeah, I'm about ready to shut her down here too.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
The twins are 13, Eli's 12, and Addison's 11.
Yeah, that's an old picture.
Yeah.
Oh, hubby, I would say go ahead and put them up.
Yep, I would too.
Just title it that way, that, hey, this is something different. Well, like I did with that pot roast recipe, This is what I'm doing right now. Pot roast recipe. Here's what you do. And just little one-offs like that, they don't alienate. It shows you're more human, more relatable and stuff. And they actually work for you.
I'm not really a car channel. I'm a Don English channel. There's lots of facets.
No, you're a one-eyed cat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've learned that people click on your channel to watch what you're doing, but they come back because it's you. So anything you do to your channel that's you, that's what works.
I got
what
lucky
you're
on
working at might hook them, but it's you that keeps them coming back.
Yeah. I'm just another guy in the neighborhood.
I'm going to have to get you a patch for your one eye.
Yeah.
Hey,
But Kim, Wendy, Don, I'm gonna get out of here.
It's
I'll
great
holler at
seeing you.
y'all later.
later, Trav.
Hang in there on that long work week, man. Yeah, and I think I better call it a night too. It's almost the right time.
Oh, now your clock's only 15 minutes behind. Oh, what time is it there?
It's actually 10.
Oh, well, it's 12 o'clock here, so.
But I'm usually in bed by
12
9.
o'clock
I'm
on
an
a
old
Saturday
man.
night.
So your clock is our time.
Yeah, see? It's perfect.
Yep. Yeah. It's only 15 right now.
I do have to put up my NHRA stuff, and well, this is still my temporary room here, so right now
Yeah, this is our dining room.
RC Industries and Dizzy Izzy's shirt up here.
Oh, Don froze.
Uh-oh, we froze the one-eyed cat. But yeah, with that, I think we'll go ahead and shut her down for this week. Don and Wendy, always awesome having you come out every weekend.
I
And
missed you last week.
you missed me?
Yeah, I've been working. I have off tomorrow. And, I mean, I only work at the Dollar Tree. But, hey, money's money.
Yep, every dollar counts.
And it's Sunday through Saturday. I have off tomorrow, and I work all week long. I close.
Oh,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
what time do they generally close? Like
9
9?
o'clock. 9 o'clock. But I don't get home till like 20 after 9. Because we gotta count our drawers and make sure everything's cleaned up and all that.
Yeah.
So. And some guy got fired the other day, and I picked up all of his hours for this week and next week. That's why I don't have any days off. I only have 1 day. Usually I have 2 days off, but all good with me.
Did you look me up, Tony? I had a bunch of people send me some, and I sent them out. I don't know if your name was on there. If not, send me your address and my email. You can see it on my homepage, and I'll get one out to you. I still have a couple of them left.
You have
yeah.
BareRose stickers?
Yeah. Didn't I give you one at the No Name? Didn't I give you guys some?
I don't think so. I think all I have is the gloves I won.
Oh, wow. I thought I gave you them and my cards that I got.
No, I don't think so.
I was handing them out at the No Names. I thought I'll get you some. I still have your address, so.
Okay.
My buddy Newt from the Natural God just started his channel, 22 subs. I'll bring him over next week to the live. Yeah, bring him on in. Be more than happy to help him out any way we can. Excuse me. And tell him he's more than welcome to jump in if he wants. We're more than welcome to have anybody. Besides that, the more people I get on here talk, the less talking I got to do. Yeah, I got it in the mail the other day. My mailbox froze. I had a bunch of, the wind blew the door open and packed it with snow. So a bunch of the letters and stuff got kind of frozen there, but I'm pretty sure yours was okay. And I'll be sending you one out too, just soon as I can. But with that, I'm falling asleep here. I gotta shut her down. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Everybody in the chat.
Talk to you later, BareRose. Yep, Don froze.
Dawn froze.
He
It
lost
happens.
the internet.
Anyway, we'll catch you all next week. Till then, get out
See
there
you
and
later.
keep the metal hot.
I have to work Saturday. I work till 9. I'll be on when I get home.
I'll hold time for you. We'll see you at the same time.
Okay. Night.
We'll catch you all on next week.
Bye.